Yes, it's literally just like a whole group of people waiting for me to show up and do nothing. For all of us to get here together to do fucking nothing. That's exactly what's happening. It seems crazy. You're like, what is going on here? I agree with you. I agree with you. What is going on here? What is happening here on this day? I can't begin to tell you what's going to happen, but I can tell you what might be happening. Yeah. It's one of those days. It's one of those Tuesdays. Hello. Oh, I'm glad. I'm here for it. Let me assume my position, my God in heaven. Let me just exist in a way that is right for me. Let's try this. Oh, there we go. Okay, starting there. Yeah. I know I do love the cozy fit. It's just not letting you see this line. It feels like a crime. It feels like you're going to hear the cops coming in the background any fucking second now. So I need to do whatever I can to keep. It's such a nice line. Such a good line. It's good. I feel like I'm dying. The music is definitely funeral music. Here lies the last shriveled remains of your dignity. Lost, lost forever. But there is still hope. If you can't have dignity, maybe you can have. Uh oh. I don't got a lot left for you after that. Fuck. We'll have to cultivate. It's fine. We'll just have to cultivate. And it's good to think about the cultivation now. I'm gonna cultivate. I'm going to cultivate. So normally I have so much honey in my tea. Normally it's just like sweet as all fucking get out. Not today. And not I mean, it can't be every day, you know what I mean? Because I'm getting old, and as you get old, you get fat. And getting fat is great. It's hot. I love my sweater, but I was like running around throughout my entire house, but now I'm just sitting here. So we'll keep it close by, but we don't need to keep it. I'll survive without it. Just like cultivate like rolling this down just a little bit more. No. I feel like that's what I'm going to be cultivating. I'm cultivating this body, this core, this like strong, beautiful core, but it's not there yet. It's not cultivated just yet. I feel really soft. I feel really like the Stay Puff Marshmallow Man. It's my vibe for today. I feel very soft. I feel very round, very round. Your eyes are so tantalizing the way they stare into my soul. I love that you have such an intense feeling for me just sitting here. Just me sitting here. I'm not really even doing that. Actually, I know that I'm not doing that. I'm not staring into your soul. Not at this exact moment, but like I stick around. I don't know. Do something for me to judge. You have to actually give me your actions. I can't judge your soul based just on your words. Sometimes it really depends on the words, right? I don't believe in climate change. Well, okay. Well, that's a judgment. That's a judgment. That's a judgery Jew. Judgery do. Sorry, judgery Jew. That's what I'm gonna judgery do when I get my hands on the judgery do. Is judgery you? Judgery Jew. I was thinking a lot about Mel Brooks this morning. It's like, what kind of person do I hope to meet in the future? And I was like, I want to meet Mel Brooks, and Mel Brooks is very old. It's like, no offense. I love getting old. I think it's great. I want to meet Mel Brooks before he passes. And then I was like, what if you meet your heroes and then it's bad news? Then what do you do at that point? So maybe it's better if I don't ever meet him. But what's important is the fantasy of like, well, okay, then what kind of people do I want to meet? Funny people, funny, brave people. I like funny, brave people, which is why I guess I take it so personally. You guys, I take it so personally when you make jokes that I don't find funny. When you make jokes that I don't like, I'm just like, wow, I feel like you're offending me on a visceral level that I can't even begin to tolerate. Lurking Hunter just said, "Wow, you're so hot." I know that's why I took off my sweater. I know it's so scary because I want to believe. I want to believe that like we might be coming into some sort of like spring. Imagine it were springing. Imagine spring, and I would love to spring. I love spring. But it's only the very beginning of March. It's not. I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's not. It is not. We probably have like 6 more weeks of winter. Like 6 more weeks of it could snow any day. So this isn't a real sensation of spring. It's just a delusion. But you know what? I love my delusions. This guy said, wow, you're so hot. That's a delusion I can get behind. I don't feel super duper hot, especially not every single day. Especially not on a Tuesday. Tuesday hotness? Get out of here. Humor must be a strong value of yours. Yes, you need to be able to laugh because sometimes I queef during sex. Sometimes the angles are just right that these childbearing hips will queef. And like, if you can't laugh at a queef with your partner, or I've been with men when they have farted. I'm so glad that I haven't farted during sex. It's always just been the queef. I can belch on command, but I think that has more to do with breath control and like vocal control. But I did queef once really loudly in rehearsal. I have no idea why. I'm excited to tell you guys. Shush. You guys wait. Okay, hold on. Thank you for this. Thank you. You great timing. I didn't mean to tell you not to do that. That's my bad. I apologize. I get overwhelmed and then I want to control everything. I signed up for an on-film acting class. I went to university when I was in university for acting, and it was a nightmare. It was awful. Our teachers were bitter, miserable losers, to be perfectly frank, who were unable to cultivate their own worth in a way that then they passed on to their students. The only thing that I felt like my teachers were cultivating was their own negativity, using us as some sort of tuning fork to resonate along with their discordant perception of the world even. It's very difficult for me to even talk about or to think about because it's so emotional. The emotions get so big and so high. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster, and it's like, oh, I need to respond to that text message when you're on a roller coaster. You're like, I'll do it later, because the emotion is so crazy high. Is there music? It's very low. It's like wild, crazy low. Is it too low? I can make it louder. I think I've like fiddled with, oh, you know what? It's because, I get it. I think it's because I was so quiet and then I turned it down. Yeah. I like this. This is fine. I'm good with this now. Yeah, okay. So I signed up for an on-film acting class. I'm very, very excited. I'm nervous until I realized, well, not realized. I was nervous until I spoke with one of my best friends. You know, my friend who's an actor. She's like been a full-time working actor since we graduated. She's had wonderful success to the point that she like met her actor husband and they got married, which is the dream. But then also a nightmare. Oh my God, no actors, please and thank you. I was talking with her, and she was the one who recommended the school that I sign up for, because there's lots of different classes that you can take in the city. She was like, I recommend this one. I've heard good things about it. And I was like, okay, girl, I trust you. I love you. I love you so much, and I trust you so much. Yes, roommate Michael is acting too. He's mostly, like, he booked a recurring role on a Netflix series. I don't know if he's taken a class recently. I didn't ask him about that. We mostly just talk about what he's actually doing, which is so funny. I guess, yeah, my other actor friend is my, like, school chum, and my roommate is, like, I guess I kind of consider him more of a peer. It's weird. Maybe because we live together. She recommended this school, and then I signed up for my class, and it was like, this is who your teacher is. And she was like, oh, like, who's your teacher? Maybe I know them. And I was like, this is who my teacher is. Do you know them? And she's like, I do know them. My agent also represents them. We have the same acting agent. Yay! Yeah, it makes me feel immediately just like much more at ease, where it's like, if I go and I make an atrocious, if I walk in And I am. So you watched The Substance, you said the other day? Yes, I'm so glad. I love The Substance. That's why I was dressed the way that I was yesterday. This is also a fun outfit that has nothing to do with The Substance, but I still love it. And it could be. Why not? Yeah, this is my. Also, this outfit is The Substance. You don't know. You haven't watched the movie yet. And if you have, you're not going to tell me I'm lying because you enjoyed the movie and me too much to kill the vibe. So shush. Oh, it just makes me so happy. I love The Substance. It was such a good movie. If I come in just like an absolute monstrous version of myself, like this is a horror movie, like The Substance, and I shit the bed on the first day of my on-film acting class, it makes me feel so much happier and so much better that there's so much, there's so many levels and so much depth in The Substance that I love so much, and I think it's really valuable to watch it not get the Oscar recognition that I think it deserved, because that's a really good perspective for me to have. The things that I think are good are probably not Oscar worthy, because what is Oscar worthy and what you think is good are very, very different things. And it's very easy for us to enmesh our sense of what is good and what is bad with what is awarded and what is celebrated. And those are really different things. I mean, like, we celebrate murders. Should we be celebrating murders? No. Is that good? No, it's bad. Sometimes we even celebrate bad things, like when Crash won the Oscar for Best Picture. Okay, so acting class, very excited. It's going to be wonderful, and even if it isn't, I know that I have a friend in my corner. So in the movie, The Substance, without giving you too many spoilers, because you really should watch it, but also there's nothing I can say to you that will actually spoil this is what makes it such a good movie. There's nothing I can say to you that will spoil the experience of watching the movie, because I cannot do it justice. No person could do it justice in describing it. It is an experience, and so you definitely have to experience it. But one of the most horrifying parts of The Substance is that it's absolutely possible for somebody like Demi Moore to go down this really, really terrifying, awful, I love portmanteaus, this really terrifying, awful experience, because like, we're not as connected and we're not as close to each other as we used to be or as we could be, which is difficult, because being in the present of being disconnected, when we can recognize that perhaps we were more connected in the past because we didn't have people had their noses jammed into newspapers, for sure. The newspaper is not so self-replenishing and not so addictive. Like, you know what? That's not true either. People did become addicted to, like, collecting newspapers, and they filled their homes up with all these crazy fucking stacks and what have you. That was an entire plot point of one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons, Bart the Murderer. Bart the Murderer is such a great episode of The Simpsons, my friends. Oh, my friends. That's a lot of leg. I love my legs. My favorite part is that you guys are masturbating. I demand. To my legs. Immediately. Do it now. You might thought you were done. You're not. Do it again. You might have thought you weren't even going to do it today because you weren't that horny. Whip out the lube. Get it going. Jerk off to my legs. They're so hairy. They're wild, crazy, out of this world hairy. And that's what you're jerking off to. You're jerking off to my hairy stems. You love it. I love it. It's wild. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. You're such a fucking freaky idiot for liking this. You sick moron. I love it. Oh, it's Mardi Gras. I forgot. I love I should take my tits out. I knew my tits wanted to come out especially hard today. Oh, tits out for Mardi Gras. I love Mardi Gras. I'm so excited for pancakes. We talked about this yesterday a little bit because we start Wednesday, Lent. And I don't like giving up stuff for Lent. Yeah. Just blame Mardi Gras for your tits wanting to come out. Tigger, I have been working so hard. Tigger, write us for you guys. I love you guys so much. I have been working hard for you guys so I can be the very best streamer that I can be. I have been working so hard for the poet so I can be the best friend and the best lover I can be. I have been working so hard for my future imaginary husband and or wife, whoever they may be. I've been working so hard, and part of that working hard has been relaxing, has been genuinely working hard at relaxing. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. We're doing a little bit of that today, working hard at actually relaxing. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult thing to do. To relax is to invite attack, and there's no two ways about it. To relax is to invite attack. You can't hide from it. You can't go near that garbage. I love you so much. I know what you're smelling. I know what you're smelling. You're smelling the sour cream lid that's in that garbage. I know I put it in the garbage and I was like, this is gonna stink. This is gonna stink. Write us, my love. I've told you we're wearing matching outfits today, me and the dog. It's no big deal. It's no big deal, but this is who I am as a person. Write us, my love. I have told you. And it's okay. I'll tell you 1,000 times more. Go to YouTube, type in PTSD yoga with Adrian. And then you do that 40-minute PTSD yoga with Adrian. You start by swaying back and forth like a little blade of grass. And then you put your hands together and you practice breathing by moving your head to different sides. It's wonderful. It's so fucking wonderful. It's some of the most difficult things I've ever done in my entire life. I feel like I've... okay, not to be like outrageously hyperbolic, but I feel like I've been cut in line waiting for something I really wanted more pleasurably than doing this yoga. To be honest, my hypervigilance helped me today. Not relaxing helped me today, says Ritus, because I was close to being pickpocketed. That's good. That's good. And the most important thing, to be able to recreate that, to be able to have the perception that like I am in danger and I need to be aware of this danger. I think one of the most important things about that is knowing when to turn it off, which I think you already have an amazing innate sense of it. I think you know innately, you have like a good intuition, but you're young and so your intuition isn't burnt out yet, although you're starting to feel what intuition burnout is. I really think doing the yoga, I really think doing the PTSD 40 minutes of yoga, do it once a week. That's it. Just do it once a week. What the yoga teaches you to do is flex the muscle that you innately have. You guys, my dog. I cannot right now with the dog. What the yoga does is teach you and give you, and not just actually teach you, it's you teaching you, but it also gives you the time and the space, which is the most valuable thing. Yo, this dog is being so cute. She's a girl. Hey, little girl. You gotta be quiet, little girl. You gotta be quiet. Because I hear them out there, and they're not worth your time. You're a queen. You're a queen. Queens don't bark. Queens yap. Yeah, it kind of does the same thing with a lot of us. It's how a dog gives you a hug. They put their body weight against you, and they'll put your face against you too. Friday's gonna be your therapy day. Yay, I love Friday therapy day. Wednesday is my therapy day. You would die for this dog? Yes, I would as well. Yeah. Yes. She is smart and she is beautiful. She has such a unique personality. You guys, I was thinking if I achieve my dream level of financial success this year, I think I want to get a pet bird. Weird people have birds, and I'm a weird person. I love birds. I love cats and dogs and birds, and I would love to have a cat and a dog and a bird. And I feel like the three of them with me, something clicked for me the other day. Also because birds live for such a very long time, that there are certain species of birds that can live. Oh no, not a bird, the noise of the bird. Okay, that's true. The bird would be talking with me constantly, like on stream. That's kind of the thing. The bird would be like another person living in the house. Do you have an idea for what kind of bird? I grew up with people who had budgies, and they were very cute. Bow. Be quiet before I turn you into a bird. Hey, listen to me. Look at me. Bow. 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 She's not looking at me. She's like, I'm sorry, all of a sudden I don't actually speak English. I apologize. Oh. I am so sorry. Oh, you do? Oh, you speak English now? I'm gonna eat your face. I'm gonna eat your little face. Come here. I'm gonna eat your face. Ah. Sorry, I'm not gonna eat your face because she knows that I will put her little face in my mouth. And she's like, don't do that, Mom. Mom, don't do that. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so mean to you. I eat you up. She's a little chocolate dog, and I will give her little bites, and I will nibble on her and go, I'm gonna eat you up, my little chocolate dog. And she goes, stop biting me. I'm not a chocolate dog. I'm just a brown dog. But yeah, I know. I'm telling them all about our conversations. She's like, Mom, stop leaking our DMs, our mental DMs. I'm sorry. I love you. They're so extra for what? Maybe because they live in a cage? Well, that's really the thing. The bird wouldn't live in the cage. The cage would be where the bird, like the cage is like the apartment within the apartment. You know what I mean? Kind of how like the closet where my cat's litter box is like her bathroom, but the apartment within the apartment. You need a bird to sing with its very Disney princess. This sounds psychotic, but I've used ChatGPT so much as a sounding board. I'm like, this is basically a parrot. Do you know what I mean? No offense to ChatGPT, but it's basically about as like smart, and the interactions are about as much depth as like talking with like a parrot or a budgie, I imagine. You're so silly, you guys. You guys look at it. She has her little paws. The poet slept over, I think like on our second date. We were just having so much fun together. I was like, you should stay. You should sleep over. He was like, okay, yeah. And then I got to do one of the most fun, sexy things I've ever done in my entire life. If you gift me 5 subs, I'm sorry, I'm a businesswoman, and I do need to squeeze a little bit of business out of you, as well as semen out of your testes and penis. Give me 5 subs, and I'll tell you the funniest and sexiest thing I did on that sleepover. I love it still. It's one of those, like, golden Patronus memories. But the morning that we woke up after our first sleepover, Bao came and laid down on him like this, where she just kind of went like, no bones. Like, she's got no bones. She's very boneless right now. She's very floopy, very soupy, very goopy, very boneless. And the poet was like, this is a dog running cat software. Dogs are not usually this boneless. And so I have hope for us, rightists, that we actually do have an incredibly innate sense on how to relax, like what relaxing truly is and when it is the right time to relax. I think it's real because like it's inside of our pets, it's inside of our friendships, it's inside of our artwork. Oh my God, you did it. Okay, so picture this. We're getting ready for bed. We're getting ready for the sleepover. He goes into the bathroom and I'm like, there's mouthwash for you, and there's like, I guess I didn't offer him the face wash. I'm kind of a bad hostess. But I was like, there's mouthwash if you want to like fucking clean your mouth out. And I'm getting ready for bed. I strip out of all the clothes that I'm actually wearing, and I put on my favorite satin nightgown. I love this satin nightgown. It is like a soft salmon color, and it has a sort of like abstract paintbrush pattern. It kind of looks like somebody took like 4 or 5 different paintbrushes with 4 or 5 different colors on it and just like put little like dabs of color all over it. It's not really anything, but it is satin, and it's like a nightgown. So it has like spaghetti straps and kind of like a sweetheart neckline, and then a really big slit up the side. Like there's a slit up the side because it's a satin nightgown. And he's in the bathroom, he's getting ready, he mouth washes and like I guess washes his face and goes to the bathroom and does those things. And then I go and I do the same things. Or maybe I have this bad habit of when people are over, I like forget to brush my teeth before bed, and then I just do it in the morning. It's a terrible habit. I'll work on it. But then we got into bed, and he's laying down, and I'm laying down. But I'm like, I don't want to be laying down. I really don't want to be laying down. And so I straddle him. I get on top of him. I'm wearing my nightgown, and I straddle him. Okay, bye. And we're talking. I don't even remember what we're talking about. Everything and nothing. And as I'm straddling him, obviously his hands are like all over my incredibly thick, juicy, pillowy, soft thighs. They're just like so inviting, so tempting, so lovely. And we're talking, and it's good, and like his hands being all over my thighs feels so amazing. And he's being polite. He's just like teasing at the bottom of my nightgown. And then obviously we're talking and I'm straddling him and I'm looking down at him as he's laying in my bed. He's the most he's got dark curly hair and green eyes. He's the most gorgeous man you've ever seen in your entire life. And because I don't like nice things, I'm an idiot. I like terrible things, like horror movies and true crime documentaries about murder and abuse. And I love poking people. I love, like, ruining things. I love getting a reaction out of people, to be brutally honest. And so I got the best reaction out of him. I said something to him and he was just like, yeah, whatever. He just is like, whatever you said is making me have to disengage from you verbally, and so I will re-engage with you physically. Exactly what I want. He's putty in my fucking hands. He does exactly what I want, exactly when I want, and he has no idea. Just kidding. I'm a psycho and none of this is true. I was just very horny. He slides his hands up underneath my nightgown, and he just feels my skin and my hips and like the soft folds of my tummy meeting my thighs. And he slides his hands up further, and there's no underpants. I'm completely naked under this satin nightgown. And the delight, I could see the electricity go from his hands, his fingertips, the palm, the flesh of his hands, and radiate up his arms directly, blast into his nervous system, and then almost like sink down heavy and hard into his pelvis. I think it like stayed fairly intellectual for him, mostly that it was such a surprise. It was like a very, very sexy surprise, but it was, maybe he was underestimating me. You're looking extra thick today. I know, my rolls are on full display, but honestly, I love a good roll. You know why? Because often you get to rock with the rolls. And rarely do you get to roll without the rock. Nice socks, but why are they dirty on the soles? Oh my God. Oh no. I know that it seems like I fell from heaven, but I don't actually float above the ground. My feet touch the ground when I walk. And the ground it's doity. It's doity down there. It's real doity down there. You gotta be real careful. It's why you usually keep your feet on the ground. The doitiest part of you. Am I right to feel like that question is fucking, and pardon me for saying, the stupidest thing I've ever had to experience in my life? I think I would literally rather you ask me, like, what my vagina feels like at getting a pap smear done. I feel like that has more entertainment value than why are the bottom of my socks dirty? Oops. And literally every single one of his comments were about your socks. Oh, so I'm just feeding into fetish. No fetish content for free. No fetish content. That's another 5 gifted fucking subs, you worthless cock-sucking failures. Excuse me. It's just that if you're going to jerk off to my feet, I want you to do it shamefully on both of our behalfs, not just mine. You need to shame yourself too, young man. Shame away. I'll shame you. I'll shame you for free if you jerk off to my feet for money. You know what I mean? There it is. It's the best legs on Twitch, hands down. I love my legs. I love how hairy they are right now and you're still jerking off. It's like just commenting about the dirty mirror when a beautiful woman posts the picture of herself. No, that was fetish. That was fetish stuff. That was more like, this guy writes, what is the trope in Japanese anime where the girl's really mean? Where, like, you're really, really mean and it turns you on that I'm really mean? How do you say it? Tsunerde? My Japanese is literally abysmal. Abysmal Japanese. Abysmal. My dog's like, don't even try to speak Japanese. I really want to learn Ukrainian, but I'm finding, to be honest, that it is difficult because it's very emotionally fraught. That learning Ukrainian reminds me of the political climate, the war situation, and then also the parallels between being a Canadian. Okay, so, but how do I pronounce that? Tsundere. Tsundere? I misspelled it, but that's it. What's under there? What's under there? I'm so dumb. I can't say anything. Sundar. Oh, or Sundare. 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 That was maybe racist. I might have done a racism just there. But sometimes you gotta do your Duolingos. It's hard, Ian, it's hard. It's hard to do it. It's very difficult. It was very, very difficult to do it after Friday. Why? How do you fight back against the man? How do you fight back against the man? We were talking about this a little bit yesterday, and I really do feel like it's by popping a titty out. And so I feel like maybe we should be popping titties out more often. I just want to be really specific about how and when and why I'm popping my titty out. And I don't want my titty popping outage to be anything misconstrued with anything other than this is like a political titty. It is an arousing political titty. I'm trying to figure out the best ways to pop a titty out. I liked Megan Thee Stallion popping her. She popped out one and kind of both titties at the Vanity Fair after Oscar party. The beautiful color of that dress. Very Cleopatra. Very Cleopatra. Interestingly enough, I think I might have liked the entire look better if she had her hair down and big. I feel like... maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a stylist. But I like to imagine what would I do for my looks, like what would, and also like if I was collaborating in this outfit, like what would my suggestions be? Yep, watching the news is taking a crazy, this is why doing the yoga is so important. Doing the yoga is so, so, so important. The yoga feels like everything about actually being able to feel, because this is the thing, now that I can say out loud, learning Ukrainian is hard because it's triggering emotionally. Now that I know that, now that I've said it, now that it can exist in the room with me, the chances of me actually going back and doing the Ukrainian lessons are a little bit higher. Not 100%, not even all of a sudden 50-50, but the chances are a little bit better. And if the chances are a little bit better today on Tuesday, then they might be even better on Wednesday, and I might pick it up again on Wednesday because it's therapy day, you know? Regulating, staying present, something that I think is very, very frustrating is that all the wonderful good things that we get to learn about can also be used against other people and used against ourselves. I'm so fucking stupid and I am so fucking gullible and I want to believe the best in people. I was reading specifically about my personality type, being extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceptive, and what that means for me. And I was like, okay, now you have to read. The positives were so great. It was so fun reading about the positives of my personality type. When I read about the positives of my personality type, the campaigner, the ENFP, extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceptive, I'm like, oh, I'm like a superhero. This is great. I have all these wonderful personality types. And then the detriments were undeniable as well, which is that I am way too trusting and I'm sort of optimistic to a fault. Which makes me feel especially nervous that being optimistic to a fault also has alerted me to this like terrible darkness looming on the horizon. I'm like, wait a minute, shouldn't my personality type sort of block me from this awareness? What does that mean? I'm at work building ultrasound mechanical parts. I love having you in my ear and listening to your conversations. Oh, yay, Aqua Blue, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. One day I hope to have a very successful podcast with like very fun, cool people. And I'm excited to do that when I am older and I don't want you to look at my gracefully aging face anymore. But as of right now, I'm like, wow, you're so beautiful and youthful. Everyone should jerk off to your cheekbones. So here you go. You get this for free. I don't think that I am young and beautiful anymore. I do think I'm old and beautiful now. I'm getting older. I have said goodbye to my youth, which is a crazy thing to say. It actually feels fucking nuts and amazing. I feel like I did it. I did my young adulthood. I was a young adult, and now if we were playing The Sims, I'm like a full-on actual adult. And I kind of hate it and I kind of love it. I like having an adult brain, but I don't like having like the heaviness that comes with adulthood. I really miss the like innate lightness of my youth. And I see it in other people. I see this lightness in other people. And I'm like, oh, the lightness of youth. Look at this beautiful lightness of youth. And I can sympathize with people who get very bitter and people who get very angry. So it's kind of a complicated and weird thing to talk about. I'm going to just go ahead and say that if you think you're going to say something that might get you banned, you don't have to say it. I'm going to try to say it for you. And if I say anything that you're like, I agree with like the words that you're saying, even though I don't like the emotional anchor of it, you can just like press a number in chat. You can just smash that numlock pad. You just, numbers, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm resonating, and that's important. Just smash the keyboard if you're resonating. So Millie Bobby Brown is a young adult. She has entered into her young adulthood. It's been terrifying. It's been terrifying and also important. Like a warehouse fire is terrifying and an important thing that is awful. It has been important and terrible to watch people exist around such a beautiful young woman. It's very interesting to see the ways that people become aroused around beautiful young women. And sometimes that arousal tips over into a weird judgmental disgust or anger. Because Millie Bobby Brown is getting older. Millie Bobby Brown is daring to age every single day. And part of aging every single day is that you look older every single day. Which means if you looked mature when you were younger, you're going to look mature as you get older. And the world has room for all of this. It absolutely does. We have this really terrible, and when I say we, I mean myself as well, because I'm noticing my own signs of aging. Like I dye my hair because I have gray hairs. I have fine lines on my face. I have like a little double chin that is the product of my own terrible posture and also just getting older. And there's fat on my body that denotes me with a woman's body, not with like a youthful girl's body anymore. And I notice these things, it makes me feel scared because I feel like I'm losing what could have made me special, which was my youth and beauty. And the reality is our youth and beauty do not make us special. Our youth and beauty is a blessing and a gift that some of us get to enjoy and is denied to many of us. Many of us were never beautiful in our youth. Many of us will become beautiful as we get older if we're very lucky. And some of us will stay ugly our entire lives, and there's value in that as well. It is terrifying to see people say those negative things, Rano. That Millie Bobby Brown is about 20 years old, and people are saying that she looks like a 40-year-old. And I think that that just speaks to how 40-year-old women are expected to look like 20-year-olds. Not that this 20-year-old actually looks like a 40-year-old. It feels really fucked up and crazy. She is incredibly beautiful, yes. And she has features that are not Instagram beautiful. She has features that are uniquely her and beautiful. Ritus is like, Fire Panda, not right now. Not right now. Post an Instagram story. Can we ban that guy? Can we ban that guy who said post an Instagram story? I don't like being spoken to in that way. You don't speak to me in that way when I'm doing this right now. You're an idiot and I'm going to punish you. Because that made somebody else's cock, like, twitch in chat. Not because I hate you or I want bad things for you, quite the contrary. It's because saying, ban that idiot for ever daring tell me what to do, makes somebody else's cock twitch. They go, oh my god, wait, why did I like that? Why did I like it when she said that? And then I go, don't think about how good it would feel for my sweet, soft little socked foot to press down harder and harder on your erect penis. Don't think about that either, you worthless idiots. That wouldn't turn you on either. Shush, shush, get back to work. Get back to work. Earn money so that you can shower me with capital because you can't shower me with your cum. That's it. There it comes. There you are. I hate that it's winter, says Taza. My dry as fuck skin makes me feel like I've aged 10 plus years. Taza, you know what? Because it's not hot and we're not sweating, we don't have the innate urge to be chugging water. You need to chug water in the winter. It's so counter. It feels so weird. It actually, to be honest, makes me feel a little bit sick. It makes me feel like I don't want to do this. This is bad for me. Oh my God, that was even a T2. Shut the fuck up. That's two fingers deep into the sub. Wow. So, I feel you, and I feel the exact same way. Adding moisture to the air is so good, but also we need to be drinking a fuck ton more water. A fuck ton more water. That's why I drink all these teas. This is mostly water, you guys. The telomeres don't lie. This is so true. Based on nothing, I feel like if you understand your physical biology, you have an open mind to the possibility of spiritual power. The power of our own actual spirit. Our spirit is an individual thing which is unique to us. And if you believe in the mechanical power of our brains, I mean, you really do embrace this, like, I'm a ghost piloting a meat mech, and this really is Voltron. This truly is Voltron. Amen. Amen to Voltron. I love it. It's very powerful, and I know that I can't actually will my telomeres to become tighter, to become more capped, to become more whole. I understand that as my cells divide and change, that they will make mistakes and that they will falter. The crazy thing is that people who have a very tight, rigid, traumatic experience, to be honest, people who hold on to trauma, truly, people who experience trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder is the diagnosis, but it used to be called soldier's heart. It could be called, part of it is tonic immobility, so that can be another familiar phrase to describe this terror that lives in our brains, does live in our bodies, and there is a correlation between people having awful fucking lived experiences and developing cancer, because the cells misalign, the cells reproduce in the wrong way, and then they get locked into that negative reproduction, into that misfiring. And I mean, this is so anecdotal, but this is my stream, so I'm like, you guys are on your knees, you have your hands clasped in front of you, maybe not in prayer, maybe in, a full, rigid, two-handed jerk-off, but let's pretend that we're worshiping at the altar of my spirituality and I'm starting a cult. I do believe in mind over matter. I actually do. When, in 2014, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, I knew that it wasn't going to kill her. I don't know why or how, but I was like, you having breast cancer is something that we will get over together. And what's so terrifying is that while my mother had breast cancer, she also believed this is something that I'm just going to get over. Breast cancer is something that I'm going to get over. And I'm going to get over breast cancer because breast cancer isn't as bad. And my mother and I said this to each other, these exact words we put out into the universe. Because breast cancer isn't as bad as something truly awful, like early onset Alzheimer's. I feel like in so many ways, I'm traumatized by my own assertion in that moment. Because I actually feel in a deep sense that by saying that with my mother, we sort of put it out it made it possible. Because my mother did overcome the breast cancer. And then she did, a few short years later, fully succumb to early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. It was almost like we made like a deal with the devil. The cancer won't kill you.
Because what you really need to be afraid of is the early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. It freaks me out. It scares me. It scares me so much. But I can also recognize that my mother's early onset Alzheimer's and dementia was a product of her own mind poisoning herself, because she never did the work of examining the trauma in her life and giving herself permission to move through it and away from it. It never happened for her. She just kept pushing it away and going, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I won't pay attention to it. I'm not going to focus on that right now. I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm not going to focus on that right now. She pushed all the trauma away to focus on the things that she felt were really important, like work, which unfortunately she really focused on work. And losing my mother losing my mother was the domino that then knocked over and sort of showed me that I had been viewing my entire family through rose-tinted glasses. And that, unfortunately, I was raised in one of those bad families. Like, you hear those stories of people and you think, oh my God, I'm so glad that I wasn't raised in one of those bad families. And then you grow up and you are able to live and experience goodness. And then you look back and you go, oh, that was one of those bad families. Fuck. I was in one of those bad families. Which is kind of why I feel so happy and good about being like, okay, goodbye my youth. That was me understanding I grew up in one of those bad families. And now in my adulthood, I can actually focus on not only helping my friends and my loved ones and my chosen family have better adult lives, but also happy to help their children have better childhoods as well. It's so wonderful to be able to pay it forward, but to actually be able to understand, like, what am I actually bringing forward into my life? Feels amazing. Okay, first break of the day. I am going to go stretch. You guys should do the same thing. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue this conversation. Yeah.
I also posted a picture on Instagram for you. Not because you told me to, but because it's the right thing to do. Because I wanted to do it. Because I like posting my pictures. Honestly, it's important to me because it feels like the record of my life right now. Not all times in your life do you get to keep a record of your life that you're proud of. And to be honest, I'm not always proud of it. Sometimes I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I wearing? It's not perfect all day, every day. But that's not what it's not about. It's not what it's about. It's not about it being perfect all day, every day. It's just about doing what you can. Just about doing what you can. Oh yeah, I took my sweater off earlier, but I've sort of slid back into it now. I can take it off again. I can do whatever I want to do. I'm an adult woman, responsible for her own destiny. And her, actually, I don't know. I believe in karma. I really do. When I was reading about ENFPs earlier, it was talking about, I don't want it. I'm going to just be fiddling with it. It was talking about ENFPs, my personality type, are the most likely to believe in karma, which is that, the universe will work itself out, and I just need to, stay focused on my stuff, but then also that, karma is not just about, doling out punishment. It's also about, the good stuff is going to come back around as well, too. So it's really important to care about individual people and to treat people like they're individuals, because then they'll treat you like an individual. And that stuff's important and fabulous to me. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, this is of the utmost importance. There's literally nothing more important than this. Yeah. How we treat people and how we are acceptable and how we accept how we're treated. Look she's back here now. Hey, Bal, what are you doing? What are you licking? Now we're both on stream together. Hi, Bal. Hi, baby puppy. You're not actually right here, but the perspective makes it look like I can eat her. Look, I'm gonna bite you. Go bite you, puppy. Go bite you. Have you watched My Name is Earl? I think it was on TV, when I was watching TV sometimes in the past, but I never sat down and watched it, mostly because I'm like, isn't he a Scientologist? And then it makes things hard. It makes it a little bit harder to dive on into it because Scientology freaks me out. I think everybody's a little bit freaked out by Scientology. I think they want you to be a little bit afraid of them, and it worked for me. Oh, yes. Oh, we are going to be, oh my God. I feel like each and every one of us I feel like we could make an entire TV show with just the people who are here in this stream right now. It's lived experiences of betrayal and all those things, because that's what makes it so fucking universal. That's what makes it so fucking universal, is that we've all experienced trusting the wrong person and then being punished for it in the most painful, unimaginable ways. It's just how could I be so stupid? How do you tell me how you deal with it, because I struggle every day. The only thing that I've found that makes me feel better that other people have hurt me is that I go out of my way to be kind to myself. That's it. That's it. I'm like, oh, are you okay? So somebody broke my heart. Somebody broke my heart. I take that as an opportunity to give myself all the soups I could ever want. Just soup me up. Why are you so pretty? Through concerted effort. It's because it's a defense mechanism. If I'm pretty, maybe you won't kill me, and maybe I'll be allowed to live, Any workout tips for scoliosis pain? My partner suffers a lot of lower back and hip pain from scoliosis. Ill Savior, go to YouTube, type in PTSD yoga with Adrian. Your partner probably might not have actually diagnosed PTSD. PTSD yoga isn't just for people who have PTSD or people who have even experienced any kind of trauma. PTSD yoga would be the foundational beginning step of, you're like, oh, I want to get into yoga,
quite often when you go onto YouTube and you type in beginner yoga, you actually you're actually being given a very high level intermediary, perhaps, introduction to it. But PTSD yoga specifically trauma-informed yoga. If you don't want to do PTSD yoga with Adrienne, you can also just look up trauma-informed yoga. If you have scoliosis, no offense, but it's like the basis of trauma. It is a rigidity in your spine that you can't just click your fingers and make disappear. And so living with trauma is learning how to live with trauma, learning how to actually breathe and grow and change and befriend the pain and the trapped nature of our experience so that it actually doesn't feel like a cage. It can feel like being at home in your body. The PTSD yoga has been amazing for lower back pain, for hip mobility. I do it every day. I'm gonna try, like, I've been doing it every day, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna do it every day. I'm gonna do it every day that I can. It's a really great yoga routine. What it feels so good is that now that I've done it enough times, now that I've done it like maybe 20 times, I've done that video 20 times only. That's the thing. You do this video 20 times and tell me how you feel afterwards. Like, I guarantee you'll be like, V, I hear what you're talking about. I get it. It feels so wonderful to do this yoga right now when things are like falling apart, but also there is still a roof over my head. There is food in my fridge. There is like peace in the streets around me. It's very good to do this yoga and be like, when things are even worse in the future, it'll be nice to be able to physically come back to this moment of peace that I cultivated in the past. That sort of like special sweater that you put on and you have a great day in, and then you take it off and you put it away so that when the next bad day comes, you're like, I'm gonna put on my special sweater. I'm gonna put on my special sweater. I focus on other people who have not betrayed me. Rightus? Yes. That's wonderful as well. That's a very, very good way of doing it. Think of the people who you do trust and think of the ways that you knew that they were right for you to trust. That can be amazing. That's wonderful. I'd never betray you, V, but primarily because you would never trust me in the first place, because then I would totally betray you. And I love that I know that about you. And I love that this is the truth of our experience. And I love that it has value even though it's fucking psychotic. I'll check it out. Thank you. Thank you, V. Much appreciated. I hope your journey is going well and the suffering isn't intense. You know what? I don't mind that the suffering is intense because it means that the bliss is equally intense. It really, really is. Like, I've cried. I've cried in literal terror in the middle of doing yoga because I actually thought I was gonna die. Because every part of my nervous system was like, this will kill you. And do you want to know what it was that was coming to kill me? It's so funny. It's so funny. I'm doing yoga. I'm sitting there. I'm doing the PTSD yoga. And I recognize that what I'm tapping into is terror. We've moved past fear. Fear is like, whoa, I'm afraid that in this next moment something is going to happen. And we moved into terror, which is that like something is happening right now and it's so horrifying that it's, yes, it never ends. It is forever and ever and ever. And do you want to know what was terrifying me? Do you want to know what that inescapable terror that lives deep inside my soul is? It's so funny. It's a Christmas tree. I am terrified of Christmas. I'm genuinely in my heart of hearts, in my soul. I am terrified of the inescapable dread that Christmas brings every single year, of wishing and hoping that there is some cosmic power that will recognize all the good you did and reward you. Because it never happens! That never happens! It's not real! I'm terrified of like a Christmas that somebody else needs to give me. And being able to recognize that, like being able to do yoga and go, bah! A Christmas tree! Like, and I did. part of like living as a person is allowing your body to actually act out the scary trauma in a safe way. And doing yoga is a great time to do it. The video is going to say sit down and sway back and forth, and you might instinctually feel your hands come up in front of you in this way, and then you go, what the hell was that? And the truth is that is a reflex that was arrested in the moment. And it just pops up when you start accessing your body. And you go, why the fuck? Why is this? And so when I did this, when I was putting my hands up and I was recoiling in terror, I was like, I'm terrified of something. What am I terrified of? And what's great is that I had music playing in the background. You guys, I have such excellent news. There is a Nintendo Music app. Nintendo noticed that people are so in love with the music of their video games that they would create like 10, 20, 24-hour long YouTube video loops of the Nintendo music. And so Nintendo, with a Nintendo Online subscription, gives you access to all the Nintendo music, and you can loop it and play it infinitely. So you can play the 5 a.m. Animal Crossing music for hours at a time without having to have Animal Crossing open. It's just a music player on your phone. That's kind of better. It kind of functions a little bit more easily than Spotify does, but that makes sense because Spotify is a much bigger music app than a Nintendo Music app. But the Nintendo Music app has been wonderful. I put on the 5 a.m. clear Animal Crossing music, and I was doing my yoga, and I was like, okay, I'm terrified. I'm terrified of Christmas trees. I'm terrified of Christmas trees. Why am I terrified of Christmas trees? And of course I'm terrified of Christmas trees because Christmas was always a deeply traumatizing time of year, and it felt like there was no escape from it. Like, Christmas was supposed to be this really like fun. Exactly. Christmas was supposed to be this benevolent old man breaking into your house, eating your milk and cookies, and leaving you toys. But the reality is that Christmas was often our parents being overworked to the point of desperation, like seeping desperation into everything. Our parents having the financial responsibility of not only getting presents for us as children, but for their coworkers, for their other friends, for family members. Like, there was a big financial strain around Christmas, which was another level of stress and discomfort. And then there was also this pressure of making Christmas nice. We need to have a good Christmas. Christmas needs to be nice. This is a special time of year. It needs to be this way or that way. And to be honest, needing to be any which way just because of what the fuck the calendar says, or the way that the seasons have shook out, or because some motherfucker's birthday wanted to be tied to some really cool, fun pagan rituals. All of that, I don't like being told what to do. And then I think that's a very human thing, because it goes further than just being told what to do. It turns into, if you don't do my expectation of this time, if you don't live up to these expectations, I'll annihilate you. You won't be a part of anything. You won't get to participate. You are not in it. It was like exile, unless you were like smiling and doing Christmas just right. And so it felt terrible. It felt very suffocating. And suffocating is, as we learned from the most recent episode of, you guys, every day we get closer to a new episode of Severance, and I'm very excited. What we learned from Severance, that Gemma's fear is the most base and the most like true experience of fear. Basically, every single person on the planet who has ever lived or will ever live is afraid of suffocating, is afraid of not being able to breathe when there is air literally just on the other side of what's about to take away your entire life. Drowning is terrible because you're like, there's no oxygen around you and you're suffocating in a very different way. But like, oh my God. Oh, poor Gemma. You give kind of Ally McBeal vibes. I don't know if you know that show. Are you telling me that I could be married to Harrison Ford? Because gimme. I would love to be married to Harrison Ford. Thank you very much. I love a cranky old man. Pagan rituals, what? do you not know? So Jesus was probably born in the spring because that's usually when babies are born. But they wanted to celebrate Jesus's birth and the beginning of Christianity, like the year of Christianity. Let's put baby Jesus. They jammed it right next to, I mean, even like ancient Egyptian. And when I say ancient Egyptian, I mean our perception of the ancient world is so funny and strange. To Cleopatra, who was born in like 62, 60 or like 44 BC, something like that. Or actually, so wait, no, I don't know how the numbers work and I get kind of confused. But I did remember reading this story about like teenage Cleopatra, and it was set in about 57 BC. So to Cleopatra and to Jesus, the pyramids were wildly ancient, like crazy ancient. And so the people who built those pyramids and the gods that they worshipped were equally ancient and revered and important and special. And Osiris's birthday is like a couple of days before Jesus's birthday. And that's not a coincidence. That's not like, oh my God, that's so crazy. So like the old god's birthday was so close to this quote unquote new god's birthday. It was just one of those things where they're like, we'll put these things together so that the transition is easier to recruit people. You still get to have your celebration. Even Christmas trees are pagan symbols of these like old gods of nature. Needing to have something to do for the holiday makes it enjoyable, seems counterproductive, but there was so much of that. There was so much of like, and then the drinking, and then, oh, the drinking. Oh my gosh. I don't know about the drinking. It doesn't make me feel very, very good. Yeah, and the winter solstice and all those things. You guys, I don't like the drinking, though. I really, really don't like the drinking. Because this is the thing. Our parents were like a drinking generation, you know what I mean? They were a drinking generation. They were, yeah, I like might never drink alcohol ever again in my life and be richer for it, for sure. The things that I like about Christmas time is making presents for people. Yeah, Boomin, welcome back for 2 months. Really like making Christmas presents for people. So realizing that like, oh, I have this like really deep terror of Christmas and what Christmas means and all the different ways that Christmas can be terrible and scary and disappointing and traumatic. Because you're really supposed to sit there and enjoy it, but it's not always enjoyable to sit there and take what Christmas is giving you. I did my ENFP personality test properly now, before my mind was all scattered all over the place. I got ENFPT. Wait, what does the T stand for? We're the same, right? As we have the same personality type. I don't know what the T stands for. I knew we were the same. This is why I sensed an E-girl in you. Ooh, turbulent. A turbulent, extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceptive. My love, Ritus. I don't want to say anything that's going to like be upsetting or hurtful. But you could also Google the symptoms of CPTSD and be like, how many of the symptoms of CPTSD do you have? Because I feel like a lot of people have CPTSD, and it's like, oh, it presents as all these other personality experiences or this turbulence, where I'm like, I don't think turbulence is a part of your personality. I think you and I probably have CPTSD from being raised by people who could not handle our personalities and just couldn't handle us, like just couldn't handle us as people. Because it's fucked up and scary to have the experience of your bad behavior living in front of you. And so there's a lot of rejection that goes into being a person who really experiences life. So extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceptive, the personality type that Ritus and I both have, is called the campaigner. They are bubbly, extroverted, outgoing people who also really enjoy a deep sense of emotional connection. They're often highly creative individuals who light up the room, which was a really nice thing to read. I was like, oh, that makes me feel so happy. That makes me feel so comfortable being who I feel like I should be, which is somebody who gets to like light up rooms. It feels really, really good. It also comes with like having a lot of difficulty with following through with stuff, becoming bogged down really easily by overextending yourself emotionally. It's why I'm wearing these clothes today and less makeup today. Because I'm just like, I'm kind of at the like end of, I'm exhausted, you guys. Like the January, March lull, which like all the business guys, all the analytic guys know about this. Oh, people, celebrity campaigners. Oh, weird. Okay, Robert Downey Jr. Yes, makes sense. Robin Williams. Yeah, I always really felt like I was like, I had that Robin Williams personality. And Quentin Tarantino. Not super enthusiastic about being put in the same camp as Quentin Tarantino, especially with my feet out in this way. But then also, maybe that's good. Maybe that's good. Yeah, this came from the dollar store. Also, those were all men. What are some women? Can we have some female, extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceptives? Oh, sorry. Are women not allowed to have personalities? Only men get personalities. Oh. So I signed up for this acting class. I'm very excited for the acting class. It's going to be great. Those are the only ones that it gave you on that page. I mean, that's interesting, and now we can move on from it. What I'm so excited for is to do commercials. I love doing commercials. I love the like simplicity of just like, I am here to sell you one thing. Dolly Parton is extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceptive. Yay! 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 Oh my god, imagine. Okay, it feels so good to be like, you have a little bit, you get a little Dolly in you. You get a little bit of Dolly in you. Yay. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, I do love Dolly. Her husband passed away yesterday or recently at the beginning of the month. Rest in peace, Carl. But also he seemed like such a sweet, wonderful man. And they had so many lovely years together. We all could be so lucky. But it's still very sad for his passing. Yeah. Wait. No. Dolly Parton is an extroverted, intuitive, feeling, or perceptive. That's not what North. Sorry. A big fault of my personality type is that sometimes what people say is not the meaning that I get from it. I misunderstand. I went on a beautiful, happy experience of genuine emotion. North was just making, to be honest, like such an uncomfortable and weird joke. I'm genuinely repulsed by you. That was gross. That was not the right thing to say. It was really bad of you to say, actually. You're a bad person, I guess? I don't know why you would say that. So, moving on from that. So, I love Dolly Parton. I also love Dolly Parton so much, which is why I can't believe that anybody that I could even consider a friend would say something so vile and disgusting about her. It makes me realize that a lot of men just don't see women as people. A lot of men are really just fucking awful, and you're one of them, and that feels terrible, because I feel like I've gone to bat for you a lot, being like, no, he's a great guy, and here we are again, just nope, you're just a terrible fucking person who doesn't even see women as people, and that fucking sucks. That fucking sucks. It's a huge problem. It's something that makes me very uncomfortable, but something that I think being aware of is like right as almost getting pickpocketed, where it's like, you know what? I don't need people around me who don't see women as people. So I think you should. Tim Robbins is a great and hilarious man, and his TV show is called I Think You Should Leave. Women make sexual jokes all the time, but as soon as a dude makes a sexual joke, it's a huge problem. So, that is called a straw man argument. Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying... I am saying that, yes, men make objectifying jokes about women, which then, as my personality style will denote, I will intuit to recognize that these men don't consider women people. They don't consider women people. Truly. I do make sexual jokes. I absolutely do. And many of the sexual jokes that I make are dehumanizing you men. Because that's what the joke is. Because that's what the joke is. The joke is that I'm dehumanizing you. Because I genuinely see you as an actual person. Yes. So there are, of course, excellent jokes that can play on sexuality. And they are super funny. There are even funny, sexy Dolly Parton jokes that we could make. But the one that person just made was actually disgusting and awful. It was boring. And it was dehumanizing. It just feels dehumanizing, and I have to point that out because that's what my feeling is. Absolutely. I'm not saying that there isn't a place or time for sexy jokes. There are places and times for sexy jokes, and we can make sexy jokes about Dolly Parton. She is insanely fucking sexy. She can use her fingernails to make music, and I swear to God she could make me make music with exactly one finger. That's a sexy joke, using Dolly Parton. I'm joking about Dolly Parton jamming one of her beautiful, perfect musical fingers hard into my asshole, hard into my mouth, hard into my pussy. This is a sexual joke with Dolly Parton. Is it funny? Is it not? Who fucking knows? It's a joke. It's a joke. It is a joke with Dolly Parton. It is a sexual joke. It is not that dreck that came out of what I hope is my friend's mouth a moment ago. Bring Me Thanos says, I don't consider women people. I consider them goddesses, superior beings above us pathetic men. I mean, that's horny, and there's a time and a place for that, but I don't know if it's exactly right here, right now. The whole thing about gods and goddesses is that they are the mortal human form of these concepts. And these concepts are, yeah, we can absolutely embody them, for sure. But also, we're still human beings. It's important that you recognize us as human beings. It's not always appropriate to then swing in opposite direction. I mean, that doesn't do women any favors. Don't boil us down just to our physical body parts that you use to masturbate yourselves. And don't also raise us up beyond this fucking existence of humanity. Women are literally just people, and genuinely that's actually the sexiest thing about people. And women is that they're just like you. So are we friends? North, I think it's very interesting that all of a sudden, after you made a mistake, which you could just apologize for, and say, that was a bad joke. I've heard other people make it, and I laughed, but when I made it, it wasn't as funny, which is possible and happens. Instead of doing that, you're being kind of an asshole, and all of a sudden you're turning this around and throwing the onus on me, and saying, V, are we friends? Are we friends? North, that's entirely up to you if we're friends. You know me, and you know that I'm the kind of person who welcomes friendship with people who are different than me. But I will never welcome friendship with people who cannot respect me. And so, as a friend, we've had this issue. You made a joke that hurt me. You made a joke that made me question whether you see even me as a person. And what you say is, that was not my intention. I am sorry that my inadvertent, poorly executed joke. It's okay, I poorly execute jokes all the time. I poorly execute jokes. Oh my gosh, what? What is that word? I poorly execute jokes all the time. And if you tell me that joke was bad, I know that you were trying to make a joke, and I know that you were trying to make a joke. I can see the joke that you were trying to make. I even understand kind of like she was in the news recently because her husband just died. And then even that joke about like when a woman has large breasts, she has two big personalities. I get it. We all get the like misogyny joke. You just say, oops, I fucked up, and then we move on to better things. One second.
I came back. Hello. Welcome. What are we saying? What are you talking about? Don't worry about my life and what's good with me. Okay, so one of my cosplays in the source material is barefoot. Oh, so it's Comic-Con. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I did that thing where I sort of like jumped into the middle of the conversation. So one of my cosplays for Comic-Con, the character is traditionally barefoot. Don't worry about who the character is. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to know who I am at Comic-Con. I want to just like be in cosplay. So I was like, oh, okay. I don't want to be barefoot. I definitely don't want to be barefoot. That's not for me. Thank you very much. So shoes will be necessary. And then at a certain point in the story, there are shoes that like the character wears. It's not like a main part of the outfit. So it's like I can have a little bit of artistic leeway about like what they would wear on their feet. I made a kind of snap decision, but I feel like I made a really good snap decision. Oh, it's barefoot. It's a Naruto character. Exactly right. Exactly. He's got such an outrageous, like, talk about Quentin Tarantino levels of fetish. So I was like, okay, I need to buy a pair of shoes that, and then this is a great thing for any cosplay and for any convention, that I love cosplaying and like I love going to conventions, and I'm realizing that I might even feel more comfortable being in cosplay to going to the conventions than even as myself. So I was like, get a pair of shoes that you know you're going to wear and that can be used for like lots of barefoot cosplays. So I got these really nice cream colored Vans, like high top Vans. You know the classic high top Van sneaker. I got them in a cream color and they have like a pink trim on them as well. I like pink. So I can number one picture myself wearing these shoes with like a pair of blue jeans and a t-shirt, which would be a very fun, sexy outfit that makes me happy. And then I also feel like these shoes work for like appearing kind of barefootish because they're a comfy, this is the thing too. I was like, well, maybe I can just wear sandals. Like maybe I don't need to buy shoes. But you guys, this is the thing. When you're at a convention and there's so many people and they're all packed in together, people step on your feet. Like being barefoot or even having your toes out, having open-toed shoes on at a convention. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, the Naruto, yeah, I feel like they were like, why are so many of the shoes, like why, even in the most impractical sense, are the shoes open-toed in Naruto? And the creator was like, I like drawing feet. I just love drawing feet. And they're like, all right, yeah. You sick degenerates want pictures of my feet after I've walked around the convention center. Yep, there it is. There you are. Oh my. Oh my.
You get some of those horrible toe shoes in like a flesh color. And you know what? What a nightmare. What a nightmare. The open-toed high heel. Yes, the ninja women who are racing off into battle wearing open-toed high-heeled shoes is hysterically funny to me. This is when you know this is a magic world. Like, this is not the real world. This isn't even a world. Like, this is a magic world. This is as magical as Harry Potter. And what's cool about Harry Potter is that, like, yeah, you can, or Lord of the Rings, like, when there's magic in your world, it's all of a sudden makes sense that Galadriel is dressed like that and has all that fancy fucking jewelry. You know what I mean? It's magic. It's literally magic. How'd they do that? It's magic. It's the magic of the world. It's a magic day. It's magic times. I'm a magic girl. You're my magic guys. I love Naruto. I've watched a lot of episodes of it, but not all of it. Not all of it. There's more, and I'm excited to finish it. But as we were talking about yesterday, I hate finishing things. It's part of my personality type. It's absolutely part of my personality type. I don't like finishing things. I like starting things. How do you finish something? How do you go, I'm done with this? This is how people get in and out of relationships. They just start a new one before they finish the old one. And then the beginning of the new relationship invariably just like completely ends the other relationship. Oh no. Okay, I love my boundaries. I'm realizing that. Right, as earlier we were talking about how do we recover when people that we love and trust betray us? How do we recover? How do we like continue on when people that were foundational to our sense of well-being reveal themselves to actually be the cause of the shakiness that we feel inside of ourselves? They contributed to it. We let them in with promises that they would help make us feel better, and they came in to make us feel worse. How do you deal with that? And boundaries, what's great is that it is boundaries. It's boundaries. Like, just now, before the break, one of our chatters, longtime chatter, he made a joke that I didn't like. I had to maintain that boundary. I had to tell him how it made me feel. And then his reaction to my feelings was another part of this as well. But it's making me feel better. Like I'm breathing, I'm thinking about it. And the truth is, when we get into these situations where there's big, terrifying misogyny, it often boils down to not nipping it in the bud in small ways. Where this chatter has been a part of my community for years, but they've always had turmoil with everyone who they come in contact with. There's always problems between this individual chatter and other moderators or other chatters or me and them, and I'm recognizing that it's them, it's not me. It is them, it is not me. I don't need to see the good in them if they are not willing to do the same for me. And I feel like I give people lots of opportunities for us to be the best versions of ourselves, and I mean, how many more opportunities do I need to give you? Really? Am I like an endless ticker tape of patience and nurturing? Nope, I'm a human being with boundaries. You're going to respect them. And if you don't, then you're proving the point that I made earlier, which is that you don't treat women as people. You might not even treat other men as people. Are you even treating yourself as a person? What I think Naruto really needs, moving on to better things, what I think Naruto really needs is a like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood redo. I feel like that's right, bring me Thanos. I feel like the time is so right. I also think that animation has developed so much that we could do some really, really cool fucking Naruto stuff with like new animation and blending computers in it as well, yeah. What if it's a TV show that was canceled without a finale? Is that technically a finish? I don't know. I hadn't really thought of it. I found out that usually the people who betray you feel worse than you do. It sort of helps me too. Well, the reality is that they don't feel good. You're right that they don't feel good. Who knows what they feel bad about? I hope that they feel bad about their actions, but they just might feel bad about their like own sense of self-pity Yeah, it might not be. They might be feeling bad, but not in a way that makes it feel good to me at all. Yeah. Which is why their suffering doesn't matter to me. It is not connected to me any way, shape, or form. It never ever is. Just like their happiness is not like a product of me either. Your happiness is just a product of like your own choices that you've made in your life. And I get to be a part of it, but I'm not the source of it. Ever. Yeah. You don't need to say that. You can just enjoy the stream. You can just enjoy the stream. Yep. Every time I'm betrayed by somebody, the only thing that I invariably am forced to remember, why did I trust them in the first place? And then what were the red flags that I ignored? These are so valuable. This is such valuable shit. This is all the most valuable shit. I don't believe that everything happens for a reason. That seems nonsensical to me. There's a lot of stuff that happens for no good reason, and it's painful and ill-advised to incorporate that into a positive way in your life. No. But we do. Oh my god, the music is so intense. But we do get to choose the silver linings. We absolutely do. People are going to betray us. We are going to make bad choices. We're going to trust the wrong people. Number one, that's part of living. Good for us for doing it just right. Number two, we get to bounce back afterwards. And if there's one thing each and every one of us realizes that we're good at, it's bouncing fucking back. Hey-o! Get it. I don't know where it went. Yeah, we can bounce back. I cannot prevent myself from hitting the ground, but knowing where it is excellent. That's what resilience is. And knowing that the ground is a wonderful place to start from again, instead of being a shameful position that somebody else has forced you into. The agency of your experience of hitting rock bottom is everything. It's the difference between being consumed by the darkness and being shrouded in it, wearing it like a shroud. There's this amazing, I might reread them because I'm not that I'm done, but I need to start rewarding myself with some nice types of reading. There's this amazing series by N.K. Jemisin. It's a woman. She writes phenomenal books. She does like a great sci-fi series called The Fifth Season, which was very well done and very enjoyable to read. And then she did, I forget exactly what it's called. I think maybe the Inheritance trilogy. She did this like fantasy series about this fantasy world where I need to reread it because it was so good and it was so shockingly horny. It was so shockingly horny. It kind of reminded me of like The Golden Compass plus Twilight. Having never read or even watched anything about The Golden Compass and really enjoying Twilight. Being able to bounce back does feel good. It's hard not to reach that like high after hitting that low. Are there dragons? No. No, the poet read that book though. He said it was bad. And then I was like, should I read it? I like smut. And he was like, no, it's just bad. He's like, I think you like reading. And so I don't think you would like reading this bad book. It's just not, yeah. I thought it was interesting that it had the same name though. N.K. Jemisin had that one first, I think. But her books aren't smutty. I mean, there's sex in her books and it's sexy sex. And I like sexy sex in my sexy books. And I like sex in my non-sexy books. I think it's an important thing. Oh, and then there was a third series that she did with this blind woman. That one was so good. That one was really cool. That was a fantasy series about like the gods. You know how we were talking, this guy was like, oh, I see women as gods. Well, like some people really like, they go fucking ham on that. Yeah. The inheritance cycle with dragons is in fact not great. No. There's a lot of like overlap with these like titles and stuff. But are you looking up the right author or are you just looking up these titles? Because I think you're doing it wrong. I think it would probably make more sense to look up N.K. Jemisin. Like I think it's Jemison. Jemison? Maybe? That's it? Maybe? Who knows? You know me and letters. The individual letters so hard. I love the words. I love words, and I love that letters be turned into words. but I often get like overwhelmed and scared by the individual letters. Yeah. Stress me out. Stressing me out. How do I not be stressed out by those words and by the numbers and by the letters? The way my brain likes to work is to just like personify it or dramatize it, my like experience with these things, so. Okay. What if I imagined that all the numbers, which there's like 10 of them in the Arabic numerical system that we've adopted in this part of the world, 10, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe I can try to cultivate a personal experience and a personal relationship with each of those individual numbers. Like maybe they're my children and I nurse and nurture them in individual different ways. Like I can sort of draw on my synesthesia so that when I see the individual numbers and they feel scary and big and overwhelming, I can just remember my personal relationship that I have with them and draw on that to relax. I kind of also just want to make an entire dish of Pillsbury crescent rolls and eat them all. So maybe my numbers idea is just as good as my Pillsbury crescent. Actually, no, I want the cinnamon rolls. Pillsbury cinnamon rolls idea. Maybe I'm just full of bad ideas. Just jam those numbers into a scary box and get on with your day. Here's the thing about Severance that I think we all forgot to pay attention to. Do you remember how badly Helly did not want to do that job? I think it was pretty easy for us to be like, oh, if I was in that situation, if I woke up as an innie and they were like, this is the work that you have to do, I don't like being told what to do. I think it was very easy for us to be like, Helly is a very instinctual person, which is true. And so she instinctually was just like, I don't want to do this job. I don't like this job. I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. I think what we forget is that our body knows things and that this severance technology is not perfect. They told us in the very first episode, how do I know what cubism is? I don't know how I know what cubism is, but I know what cubism is. I think that might mean that Helly knows what they're refining. I think Helly understands the entire process, or pardon me, Helena understands that entire process. And I think that Helena deep down feels uncomfortable and unhappy with it to the point that Helly was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do this. And I think it's because she has that innate knowledge in her body that what they're doing is genuinely fucking torturous. I cannot recommend enough that you read Peter Levine, Dr. Peter Levine's book In an Unspoken Voice. He writes amazingly. He is so incredibly smart, and his writing style is fun and poignant. It's dense as well. It's very dense. But he talks about how I think it was Livingston in Africa describing, I think he was quoting Livingston's experience being hunted by a big cat in Africa. Whether it was like a lion or a tiger or a bear, oh my. Where he says that like he realized that he was being hunted and he was attacked by this wild animal, this deadly, huge juggernaut of a predator. And then he equates it. I can't remember if Livingston did it in his own story or if Peter Levine does it in his book in an unspoken voice. But he talks about how, to be honest, in reality, being hunted by a tiger in the jungle and it clamping down on your shoulder and neck and dragging you across the floor of the forest or, I don't know, jungle environment to then bring you to its offspring to feed on your carcass, your body releases such a huge experience of chemicals that it actually severs you from the experience. That, to be clear, in the book, Peter says, spending 30 minutes in a dentist's chair is comparatively more unpleasant than being mauled and threatened to be eaten alive by the tiger. It was incredible to read because that's exactly what we're seeing in Severance. It is agony to be trapped in a dentist's chair with your mouth forced open and painful insertions and delicate cuttings. I hate it. I've never had a cavity, but I did have a hole in my tooth that my dentist was like, this will turn into a cavity if we don't fill it. So like, it's in your best interest that we fill it. And I was like, okay, then let's fill it. So that's good. We filled the hole, but it wasn't a cavity. I was like, can you be clear? Because my ex-boyfriend was a little bit abusive, unfortunately. And the way that he kind of abused me psychologically was that he made me feel very like dirty and disgusting. And he was like, you have a cavity, you have like a dirty, stinking cavity in your mouth because you're like a dirty, bad person in many different ways. Very uncomfortable and not good. None of that is true. I have a very beautiful, perfect mouth of gorgeous teeth, and I don't have a stinking mouth full of cavities. Didn't even have that one cavity. It was just a hole in my mouth. It's just a hole in my tooth, which I'm like, oh, I must have been abducted by aliens and they did something to my mouth. Oh my God, the Big Turk would make me feel, I don't know if he did it on purpose or if it was like a bleed over of like teasing is a love language. Because he would tease me, to be brutally honest, he would tease me like he was my brother, not my lover. He teased me like I was his little sister. And I think he really wanted a little sister. And I think he just was like, oh, I like that you give off like kind of little sister energy, which is like some people get horny around that, but the Big Turk was not horny at all, to the point where I was like, you might be gay. I also thought that the Big Turk was gay because he saw me scrolling through Reddit once and there was a big naked man, and then the Big Turk got really aroused, and I was like, that seems kind of gay to me, because when I get aroused by big naked men, that makes me feel very straight as a cis woman. And if I was a man and I was aroused by another man, that would make me feel gay, homosexual, sexual for the homogeneousness of our sexuality. Yeah. Aliens do butt stuff, not teeth stuff. But this is the thing. Aliens would obviously look at my butt and be like, well, that's perfect. Nothing to do in there except for just appreciate it. You know what I mean? That's the truth. I'm not joking. Hooking up to a lie detector test. I genuinely believe aliens would look at my butt, get up in there and be like, it's perfect. But the teeth, we could do something with the teeth. My teeth are not perfect. I grind my teeth. I'm noticing some not so good chipping because I must be grinding them in my sleep. Yeah, we need to do better. I need to do better. Your Reddit sounds wild. Do you know what's great? This guy is like a buddy of mine. I saw him making his jerk off videos on Reddit, and I was like, hey, I look like me and I'm a girl and I like your jerk off videos on Reddit. He was like, are you fucking kidding me? Yes, hallelujah, baby. The reality is that if you are a guy and you're making come jerk off on me material on the internet, it's mostly for other men, to be perfectly frank. And so what I love to do is like message these guys who are making all this jerk off material, because they're mostly just getting like messaged and propositioned by guys, or guys pretending to be women who look like me. And so I love reaching out to them and being like, no, I'm jerking off to your like sexy man material as well. It's very sexy. There's women who appreciate this too, even if they're not reaching out to you and talking to you like I will. Absolutely. I'm an ENFP. That's how I do, baby. So it's like chatting with this guy. He like used to come into chat every once in a while. He's on Chatterbait now, actually. He's like doing quite well, I imagine, with like the sexy posting thing, because now he's on Chatterbait. But when I was sitting on my couch with my ex-boyfriend, the Big Turk, I was like scrolling through him because I met this guy on Reddit. Like I had his Reddit on my fucking page. And so there's him jerking off, and I was like, oh, well, like I don't want my boyfriend to see me like with this like jerk off material on my Reddit page. But then my boyfriend was, well, thank God he's my ex-boyfriend now. So here's the thing though. A friend from my like ex-boyfriend's friend group reached out to me, and I was like, oh no, how do I respond to her? Like, what do I even respond to her? If I respond at all, like, what do I do? And I spent a few days when I responded to her this morning, and then I even apologized for my late response. I was like, very honestly, I was like, I have not been feeling well recently, and so, like, taking my time and even responding to people has been part of me feeling better. I'm sorry for, like, being so late in responding. But I'm also a little bit nervous because I'm like, if I talk with her, I'm gonna feel a little compelled as a campaigner, you know, as that person, to, like, get into the deep feelings of the relationship and to be honest with her and be like, this guy was bad for me. This guy hurt me. The Big Turk hurt me. He was psychologically abusive. He made me feel stupid and he exhausted me in a way that then made me feel small and less than. And then I overcompensated by like pouring so much more into my streaming, which in a way can be good, but that's just because I'm able to transform suffering into art. Not because what he was doing was good for me or the right thing for him to be doing. Oh yeah, I give nicknames to everybody that I like date and I meet for the sake of their own privacy because I care about people and he didn't care about me. He cared about how I made him feel. That was it. And that was like such a difficult thing to come to terms with because I really wanted him. I mean, like I thought I was in love with him. I thought that we were like happy. I thought that there was like a possibility for us to have like a relationship. And I wanted that. And then that was like that is not what was available to me from him. He just liked the way that I made him feel, and he told me as much. He told me when I floated the idea that, like, we wouldn't talk every day anymore. He was like, I love talking to you. It makes me feel better. I need it. And I was like, this is the truth, and I agree. I agree that this is what you feel like you need. But that was all we ever did is he just took and took and took and took from me. Like I was this like endless well of energy that he could, like I was like not a human. Like I was like a robot or a toy or something that he would just like be able to use and enjoy without having to give anything back to. Because it was so sad. It was so depressing. I love, and I'm actually really excited to do these again with the poet. I love going on mystery dates. I love planning a mystery date. So the way that the mystery date works, the first mystery date I ever did was with one of my ex-boyfriends, where I was like, we're going on a mystery date. So you will want to wear dark clothing, maybe even all black. You're not going to want to wear any white at all, and you're going to want to wear shoes that you can run in. And then I took him to go play laser tag. And it was so fun when we got to the laser tag place. First of all, there was just one group of other people, and it was like a 13-year-old girl's birthday party. So it was a bunch of like 13-year-old girls and boys, but they were like really cool 13-year-old boys and girls. And then there was like a dad there, so we like got to play with all these like kids, and it was really, really fun. And then the kids left, and the place was like, do you guys want to do a game, just you and him? And I was like, yeah. If you have never done laser tag with just you and one other person, whoever is the most psychotic is the one who is hunting. Do you know what I mean? So they started playing, this was so funny, they started playing like the Avengers music, the Avengers theme song. And I started screaming and cackling. I started being like, I'm gonna get you. I'm coming for you. I can smell your fear. Just like screaming and cackling and like running really fast. And him just being like, what the fuck? What the fuck, V, stop. And I'm like, no, I'm coming for you. Like, I'm hunting you down. I'm hunting you down like an animal. I'm getting you. Oh my God, it was so fun. I love the mystery dates. So I had done that with a previous ex-boyfriend. I thought that was really great, really fun, super great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I did it with the Big Turk again. So with the Big Turk, I was like, okay, Big Turk, we're going on a mystery date. It doesn't matter what you wear. There's no advantage to be had by being dressed in a certain way. Wear comfortable shoes to stand in. There's gonna be a lot of standing. And the Big Turk was like, okay, let's go. And we met at my house, and then we walked to our second date. So not the second date, but like the second mystery date that I had ever done with a guy. And as we were walking to the mystery date, I was talking about how fun it was to plan, how much I thought he was going to enjoy it, how like what he was wearing was so perfect. And the Big Turk said to me, this is really fun, but don't ever expect me to do this for you. I don't do this kind of stuff. And in that moment, what I heard was, I'm being very honest with you about how I will engage with this relationship. And I love honesty. So I didn't really listen to exactly what he was saying. I just latched on to, oh, he's being so honest. Well, thank goodness he's at least being honest and telling me that he will never put any effort into this relationship. He told me that. He said those words to my face. And I said, thank you for your honesty. Like a fucking moron. Like a literal fucking moron I am. Let's not do that. Let's listen to people when they say things like that and go, okie dokie, so if you are never going to put the effort into planning a mystery date, then you don't get to go on the mystery date with me and I'm dumping you and now we're not dating anymore. How long ago was that? When did I break up with the Big Turk? I broke up with the Big Turk in January of last year, which was January 2006. Yep. It's 2006 and I'm 16 years old again. Yay. I'm just a baby. The world's not big and scary. I'm gonna buy stocks like crazy. I'm gonna buy so many specific stocks like a fucking lunatic. 2006, stock me up. You know what I mean? Stock me up. You take $5,000 and you can be a billionaire, you know, buying the right stocks in like 2006. Oh my God. Stock up. Stock up. Oh, fuck, you're right. Ooh, that is such a shame. Yeah, it was over a year ago. Sounded like such a promising date. So we went on the date. It was super duper fun. I took him to an indoor mini golf place and we did indoor mini golfing and I got a hole in one. It was so fun. And the reality is, going on these mystery dates were the right thing. I had fun. It sucks that I went on these dates with guys who would never reciprocate it, but I learned that I love going on dates and I love going on mystery dates and I can take myself on mystery dates and I can go on mystery dates. I'm going to take the poet on a mystery date. It's going to be so fun, so exciting. I think I know what I want my mystery date to be with the poet. I think I know exactly what I want it to be. Can we check if he's here right now? Also, you need to announce yourself if you're here. You guys, I think I have an idea for what I want my mystery date for the poet to be. He is not here at the moment. I would love, and don't watch the VOD of this either. I don't know how tricky he is. I don't know what his deal is. We're still just getting to know each other. I want to take him to go pottery painting. He said that he's not a visual thinker, that like the way his mind works is not in a visual medium. But I think that's not my experience of him. If somebody had asked me, how does he think? I would have been like, he seems like a visual thinker for sure. And so I want to show him that he is a visual thinker. And so I want to take him to a pottery painting place and then we can paint pottery together. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yes. We could like paint mugs for each other, or we could paint flower pots for each other, or we could do them for ourselves. We don't have to give them to the other person. We could keep them for ourselves. You know what's so nice is that the whole experience of going on the mystery date is the most important part. The thing that feels so wonderful about the mystery date is just that I thought this would be fun for both of us to do. And that's love. Like, that's loving yourself. That's loving the person that you're hanging out with. That's friendship. That's like the building blocks of life. I thought this would be fun and I wanted to give you a treat that you could anticipate with happiness and comfort. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Dating myself has been so good. I like kind of did a little bit of dating myself last night. I also feel like I went on a sort of like long distance date with the poet as well, because he and I watch anime together and we watched one episode of Kill la Kill last night. And if you know Kill la Kill, we watched that really good one. Spit Out Your Hatred or Spit on Your Hatred. Such a great episode. Really moved the plot forward, you know what I mean? Really, really good anime. Cannot recommend it enough. So good. Everyone should enjoy it. I cherish a mug like that. I'm also just obsessed with like cool mugs too. They're very, very comforting. They're deeply comforting. I love a good mug. Maybe the point of the mystery date is not worrying about what happens after. It's just about enjoying that moment for what it is. It is about being very present with that person without any like preconceptions. Yeah. Lord Fartimore. Oh my God, please, this username. Wanting to show him that you think his mind works based on conversations you had with him. And then the mystery days, this is so sweet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It scares me though because like he thinks about me too, and I feel very scared because he's like told me some of his thoughts about me. And what makes me feel very scared is that he's had some thoughts about me that I worry about as well. That like he told me that he was like, "Oh, I'm noticing that you're like going through stuff. Like you're like really going through stuff." And he specifically referenced the rabbit, the story that I posted on my Instagram with the screenshots of the like really raw, awful conversation that I had with my like ex-lover, my ex-friend. And he was like, this kind of stuff is like really deep, heavy stuff. Are you sure that you're ready to be like hanging out with people, dating people if you're kind of in this position? And like, you are in this position, V. It scared me. It made me feel so scared because I was like, I worry about this too. Like, should I be dating? Is this the right thing for me to be doing? Am I ready for these types of relationships? Am I like, quote unquote, doing it right? Or is doing it right the opposite of the actions that I've been partaking in? And then the reality is there is no such thing as doing it right. There is no good time to date. There really isn't. If there was a good time to date, we would have learned how to market it and sell it to you. So you'd be able to pay for it. But that you can't pay for it, which means it doesn't exist. So even if you're miserable, because I've gone on dates. So do you guys remember Batman? I went on dates with Batman, and he messaged me yesterday and was like, hey V, I really enjoyed the dates that we went on, but I met somebody else, and I'm really feeling these dates are the connection that I value. And so I'm not going to go on dates with you anymore. Like, I got dumped yesterday by this guy that I matched with on Tinder. And it scares me a little bit because I'm like, oh, what if this is how it always happens? I can't escape this feeling that like I'm gonna match with people and go on dates with them, and then they're gonna meet the person they're actually meant to be with. This is something that has happened to me in my life over and over and over again. And it's specifically a fear that I expressed with the poet. Oh my God. I think, I don't even know. He and I were like messaging each other, and then I think he might have had a date that night. And so I stopped hearing from him. And then the next morning, I woke up, and my first thought was, the poet went on a date with somebody last night. I don't even know if he did or not. It doesn't even matter, because the next thought that I had was, the poet's date went so well that him and her got on a plane and they flew to Las Vegas, and they're married now. And any moment he's going to text me and tell me, I met the love of my life. Everything is perfect. And the only thing that'll make it more perfect is if I never speak to you ever again. Goodbye forever. And I like got out of bed and I went into my kitchen and I chain smoked 3 joints, and I just like cried because I realized that I was like, none of this is real. Like, none of this is real. And you are just imagining this scenario to punish yourself for some reason. It's so silly. It was so crazy. It was so funny, especially because he just texted me and was like, hey, I hope you had good dreams. What's up, girl? And I was like, hi. I've been preparing my goodbye forever speech with you. And he's like, okie dokie, let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. I told him all this. I told him about my like vision of him messaging me after his Las Vegas wedding. And he so sweetly, so intelligently was just like, V, I'm not going to argue with your imagination because it's a beautiful thing, and why would I argue with it? But I do need to point out the reality that I am not the kind of man to get on a plane and get married in Las Vegas ever. There is no soulmate on the planet that would suddenly make my personality change in such a radical way. Oh, it's just not who I am. Which isn't to say that your imagination is bad or wrong or doing anything inappropriate, but just the reality is so wrong. It's so wrong. That's not who he is. And then, oh my gosh, I'm glad he's not here, and like I'll parse this out in therapy, because then he took it a step further and started saying things that terrified me to the core of my being. And then he said,
And the truth is, I don't want to fall in love this year. I don't want to fall in love with anyone. It's actually counter to my desire to meet somebody and fall in love with them right now. And he was telling me this as we are wrapped in each other's arms on my couch. Like our faces pressed up against one another, like our breath in sync, like comfort and happiness radiating. I was so freaked out. I was so scared. I was like, what is he saying to me right now? And it scared me so much because I thought what he was saying was, I don't love you, V. I don't love doing this with you. I don't have like these lovely feelings. None of this is real. You're delusional for imagining this. It's not what he was saying. I think what he was saying is, I'm really happy with where I am right now and I don't want anything to interrupt that feeling. Something as disruptive as like love or hatred or anything big like that. Because it is comfortable to just like lay down in his arms and not have it be this like intense pressure of Eros. Ooh. Eros is, to be honest, it's what we mostly all struggle with. Most of us are pretty good at friendship love. Like a lot of us are really good at friendship love. A lot of us are good at familial love and selfless love that we have for our families. And then Eros is really the love that like, that's where we capitalize on it. That's where like why dating apps are so profitable. Because Eros is the one that's the most difficult to try to hold on to. It's a lot easier just to jump into agape. Or agape. Agape? Agape. However you want to put the emphasis. I'm just getting Avatar flashbacks in the vision. I can see how it would be scary. Those words sort of remind me of like the Big Turks words. I think what the poet was actually saying is that he's very happy exactly where he is. And he likes where he is, and he doesn't want anyone or anything to disturb that because he's doing what he wants. And I think that's love. I said to him, so you're falling in love with yourself? And then he had, actually what was so interesting, his reaction gave me flashbacks of chat where I would say on my streams, I would be like, you are so excited to fall in love with a beautiful woman, but have you taken any time to fall in love with yourselves? And guys in chat are like, no, ew, gross, wrong. And like, I think the poet is just falling in love with himself this year. Even though when I said that to him, his response was, ew, gross, no, I do not love myself. No, this is not about loving myself. Kitty cat, my beautiful, perfect kitten. My favorite part about working on my own terrible shit is that I can actually feel my nervous system coming more in sync with my pet's nervous systems, which gives me hope that they'll live longer because I am understanding them better and can help them heal and feel good. Hello, looking gorgeous as always. How do you make the legs marble smooth if you don't mind? Oh, Korean exfoliating mitt. You guys, get yourself that Korean exfoliating mitt. Very rarely is an inexpensive purchase so phenomenally worth it. And I can't stress this enough, the Korean exfoliating mitt. Go on to like any sort of like beauty website, any beauty website. Because Korean beauty is like global beauty now, truly. And you can get Korean exfoliating mitts. It's just like a really abrasive synthetic mitten that you can like use to scrub, like really scrub. Yeah, I gifted them, I gifted it to the guy that I was seeing last year's brother for Christmas. And it feels really shitty now that every time I use my own, I think about how I gifted them those mitts as well. And if I didn't care about them and if I hadn't given them those nice things, then I could have had those nice things instead. But unfortunately, I wasted my money and I wasted my love and energy on shitty, awful people who don't deserve it. And that makes me so angry. I need to take more of your money. That's right, pay up, you sad sacks. Kitty, tell the simps to pay me. Look at this primordial pouch. She's not actually like a big fat kitty cat. She does have a lot of loose skin, and she's got this big primordial pouch. You got a big primordial pouch, my love, but I do too. I do too. It's because they're full of estrogen. Yes. South Korea is the plastic surgery capital of the planet. it's very interesting, the different perspectives on beauty that we have all over the world, where like in some cultures, me dyeing my gray hairs would be seen as like the height of vanity. And in South Korea, it's like as common as getting braces to get plastic surgery on your face. It's really nuts. It's crazy. Oh my God, I just want to give her such a squeeze. Like, I just want to grab her. I just want to grab her and squeeze her. And I love her so much. Look at this beautiful kitty. Look at this beautiful kitty. I love you. I love you, my love. Your soft little black nose. And your perfect sweet body. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Can I get the sleep out of your eyes? Oh. Did I get it? Sorry. Yeah, I got it. No more sleep in my kitty's eyes. You're drooling. Your mouth is very wet. Very wet kitty. I love you. Oh, I love the kitty. I live for the kitty and all the joy that the kitty brings me. Oh, it's a big yawn. Oh, yeah, it's good. I want bubble tea. I want bubble tea, and there's this like, I forget what place in Toronto makes it, but it's basically like a grilled cheese made with French toast. Oh my God, it's fucking Mardi Gras. It's Fat Tuesday. I'm making pancakes for dinner, and I have some bacon in the fridge. I kind of want to get sausage. Should I get groceries, and should I get sausage, and should I have pancakes and sausage for dinner? It's honestly what I want so much. And I'm not streaming tomorrow because it's therapy day, so I don't care if I'm a little bit fat. I'll be a little bit fat. It's Fat Tuesday. Oh my God, I'm absolutely getting sausage. I'm making pancakes and sausage. Oh my God, I love it. Yay, Mardi Gras. Okay. And then what I'm going to take up for Lent will be, probably what I already started, which is doing the 40 minutes of yoga a day. But I also think I could probably do 40 minutes of relaxing yoga and then like 20 minutes of intense full body yoga. And then I'm doing an hour of yoga a day for Lent. And that feels pretty good. That feels like what I should be doing minimum anyways. And I've been neglecting and I haven't been doing. Yeah. Sam Dog says, I had a dream that I was making pancakes while driving along a twisting road. I spent the whole night tossing and turning. Like toss it. Yeah. I love it. But I thought Thursday was therapy day. It moves because my therapists have other clients, and their other clients have their own schedules. So this week I have massage therapy, and Wednesday at about noon was the only time that my massage therapist was could fit me in rather. Yeah. And this is the thing about therapy days. I think there needs to be a therapy day for each and every one of us every single day of the week. And I think it's going to move, and I think we have to pick it. I think it's going to move, and I think we have to pick it. I think it's very important that each and every one of us picks a therapy day, and we do a therapy day. And maybe we can't take the day off work to do therapy. Like, that's a privilege. That's a privilege. It really is a huge privilege for me to be able to take a day off of work to do my therapy. But that's also because I have a sort of intrinsic feeling that I am so damaged and beyond repair that I need a lot of therapy, that I need a lot of healing. So it's a privilege, but also because of the detriment that I also feel like I'm carrying around. So maybe just one day a month. Maybe you could like even talk to your boss about taking one day a month as a mental health day and being like, this is my one day a month that I don't have to work. I can sleep in. It is my one day a month mental health day. And you can even, I think you can tell your boss that it's like, I have therapy on this day. And if they ask anything more than that, you get to be like, that's literally none of your business. It's illegal for you to ask me that. I haven't watched like any episodes of I Think You Should Leave, but I've seen a couple clips on Reddit, and I'm like, I used to hate this type of humor. And now I'm like, I can get it, which is good. I feel like I might be able to enjoy Curb Your Enthusiasm for the first time in my life. All right. I feel like also therapy moving around is the best. I mean, the most important thing is that we don't become rigid. The rigidity is the enemy of resilience, for real. We need to like stay loose. Stay loose, my goose. Do you find that you have enough to discuss on a weekly basis, or is it different topics? What? Whoa, hold on. North, I think you're confused. I have 3 separate therapists. I do talk therapy. I talk with my psychotherapist for 2 hours a month. Do I think in 30 days? To be honest, sometimes I'm like, do I need this every week? Think about that. Like, I have my psychotherapist for 2 hours a month. That's it. That's not a lot of time. And I also have to let him talk to me as well, too. Yeah. And then I do massage therapy every other week as well. So I do 2 hours of massage therapy. Now we're at 4 hours of therapy a month. But those are the active hours. Like when I say those are, I mean every 60 seconds for a full 60 minutes is I'm actively doing the therapy with my partner, and I'm intrinsically like linked to them in the process of healing. And then I do 1 hour of physiotherapy with my physiotherapist a month. That's it. That's a culmination. It sounds terrifying when I put it together like this, but I have 3 therapists that I see weekly, but I get 5 hours of therapy a month, which is nothing, which is almost 0, which is scary. If you do something for 5 hours a month, that barely counts. When you break it down that way, imagine how many hours a month you spend playing video games. You could definitely fit over a month of video games 5 hours of therapy into that, right? Those numbers are wild to me because it sounds like so much therapy, but it's really a tiny, tiny amount. It's, to be honest, the minimal amount. There are 730 hours in a month, and I spend 5 of them in therapy. And I consider myself like privileged and very healthy, to be honest. I grew up in a very bad environment. I really did. But I'm going to be brutally honest with you. It's probably no worse than the environment that you grew up in. And I'm doing 5 hours of therapy a month. And I'm like, this is the right amount. Yeah. I think it's the same when it comes to the gym. You can't reach the max level in a multimedia online role-playing game in the same time you spend in the gym in 1 year to get into great shape. It's very interesting how time really slows down when you start getting on top of it and really making it your bitch. Time really easily can make you its bitch. You look at the clock and you go, oh my God, I can't believe I missed so much important time. Time has really run away with me. Or you look at the calendar, you look at where you are in your life and you're like, why don't I have a house and kids? Why am I not married? But it's like, no, I'm making time my bitch. I think about this a lot because I need to justify the choices that I made. And do you know how happy it makes me feel that my youth was entirely my own? It makes me feel so good. And do you know what I cultivated in my youth? A rich taste for life. I love exercising. I love moving my body. I love discovering what my body can do. And I feel so happy that now I understand as an adult all the ways that my body was failing me before and where I learned that failure, which is the most valuable and important thing. If you can learn failure, learning to fail, learning to feel failure is the like secret gift to immortality. Because every person that we hear of who has like stamped themselves in the annals of time, the anuses of time even. So crude, I'm so dumb. They failed more than, and their failures are so diminished by their willingness to be brave and keep trying. Health is wealth, yes. Your streams are my therapy session. I do like that sometimes my streams can feel therapeutic. It makes me feel really good. It's also why I feel justified in demanding that you give me all of your money by gifting me subs. By gifting me exactly 5 subs. The Roman numeral 5 is like the letter V, and my name is InvaderVie, and you love me, so you're gonna gift me 5 subs. Ain't that just the way? You're gonna gift me 5 subs because you know that I don't deserve to listen to all these creepy, scary foot fetishists. But I do it with a quiet dignity and grace that you respect and also want to jerk off all over. Because you know that, like, I can take it. Wait, that's not 5. What? No! Oh my god, no! Yay! I love your username also because I'm like a cherry blossom myself. No, that's 10 gifted subs! Yay! Thank you for the 10 yes! Thank you for 10 gifted subs. Oh my god, thank you. You're even better. You're even better than I imagined. You're even better than I imagined. Now do 10 more. No, that's enough. I don't know if you guys noticed yesterday, but I told on myself in a really bad way. I love Gaminip. It's not Gaminipede. It's not pronounced Gaminipede, is it? Anyways, I love it. I told on myself in a really bad way, and I had a seizure this morning where I didn't collapse to the floor, but I did, like, lose vision, and I shook, which is part of healing from trauma, and having seizures can be part of healing from trauma. But I had a big seizure this morning, and then when I came to, like, crouched or, like, on the floor of my kitchen where I love to chain smoke, I realized that the most painful emotion for me to authentically access is joy. All the other ones actually feel so much easier and so much more authentic to access. And authentic joy opens up a part of me that I am the most uncomfortable with, which is why I think I use it as a mask most often. Yeah. So I've been having these seizures my whole life. I thought they were like this terrible thing. They're not. They're not terrible things. Having a seizure is exactly that. My brain becomes overwhelmed and my body shakes and my senses go a little haywire. So sometimes I can't see. Sometimes sound stops going in. Do you know when we're on Discord together and the microphones don't connect and everything all of a sudden like turns into like sound comes in like really wrong? Sometimes that's like what the sounds sound like. And I'll shake and things will go white and I'll like I used to faint. I used to lose consciousness entirely. I don't faint anymore. I'm conscious, but like I sort of get like drowned out into a singularity and I'm like, I can't see anything, I can't hear anything, I can't feel anything, and I can't even move my body. But in reading Peter Levine's book in an unspoken voice, which again I cannot recommend enough to each and every one of you, that shaking is part of my body healing from trauma. That having these seizures are not good. There's a lot of different reasons for people to have seizures. I believe that I'm having seizures because I have CPTSD, because I was raised in a very, very negative, awful environment. And I believe that the seizures that I'm experiencing are my body expelling and moving through the emotion and the overwhelming experience of that trauma. I don't know, what really, really sucks is that it takes a long time to actually get in front of a doctor to talk about this. What I'm so lucky is that I have so many medical professionals in my fucking corner to talk. And I've talked with all of them about this. Like, my psychotherapist knows that I've had these seizures. My massage therapist knows about this. My medical doctor knows as well. And they're not worried. These seizures are not like, I'm not in danger of having brain damage. These are like, my body is going through emotion, and that emotion is overwhelming, and the overwhelming emotion manifests in a seizure. It happens. What's good is that I also have a very deep understanding of my body, and so I can feel my body as it's happening. And now that I'm understanding where it's coming from, I can guide myself through it in a way which, this is the best part of it, it used to be very painful To be honest, the seizures used to be very painful. I could feel my muscles seizing. And now as it happens, I can actually feel my muscles relaxing. So it is like a seizure, but then it's moving through the entire process of the muscles are seizing, my mind is seizing, everything is coming to that freezing moment, and then I'm moving through it, which is the therapeutic mode of dealing with trauma. It's exciting, it's terrifying, it sounds intense because it is. Good says, in the theme of having 2 hours with a therapist, sometimes even a single few minutes of conversation may change the way that you give some tips and tricks for an entire life. Not like an insight, but just a good look at yourself in the mirror, or a moment to learn to appreciate your features. It works a miracle, like a fly in the air, somewhere all the time. I love that. I'm sorry that paragraph was a bit too long for chat. But you're absolutely correct. You're so right. And I want you all to think about those really cool works of art where they paint a room or a hallway to create an optical illusion. Those are really cool, and I really like those. I think those are really important because that's what therapy is. Therapy is standing in a room with a beautifully painted optical illusion that will literally blow your mind. And the optical illusion is that you're actually okay. It feels like an impossible thing to actually be in the room with. And therapy is literally sometimes just moving yourself 1 degree to the right and snapping that optical illusion into place. And suddenly you're in the room with this great version of yourself. Because the therapist was like, what if you took a step to the side and you looked at all the exact same things in the exact same spots? But you yourself are just a tiny bit moved to one side or the other. Or even given the opportunity to move yourself one side to the other. Yeah. Damn, you're thick as fuck. I really am. Thank you. Our last break is upon us. I'm so ready. Because when I am done stream, I'm going to get groceries. I'm going to get groceries. I'm going to get sausage. I have pancake mix. Oh my God. Am I going to get Nutella? Oh, okay. So my comfort food that I was eating and made me this beautiful, voluptuous woman was I was getting raw cookie dough, and I was eating the raw cookie dough. And then I decided that I need to stop eating the raw cookie dough. The raw cookie dough is giving me raw cookie dough body. I don't want raw cookie dough body. I really don't. I love raw cookie dough, and it's a treat, but I don't want raw cookie dough body. Should I get the Nutella? Because here's the thing. I can't spread raw cookie dough on toast and eat it like it's part of a meal, but I can spread Nutella on toast and eat it like it's part of a meal. If I put bananas on that Nutella toast, that turns into a type of breakfast. Should I get Nutella? Can I put Nutella on my Can I put Nutella and peanut butter on my pancakes? I'm so excited. I don't care if I get fat. I'm an adult. I'm allowed to be old and fat. It's a privilege that is denied to many. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. Okay. I'm ready. And get bananas on the pancakes as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm very excited for Fat Tuesday. Oh, do you want to know why I'm the most gullible idiot on the planet? This is so embarrassing. I like conspiracy theories because they feel as real to me as Bible stories. You know what I mean? It's like, I like when part of my personality type is looking for a meaning in the chaos. And so I like some conspiracy theories. Some of them feel kind of good and interesting to engage with. But then there was this guy who posted in one of the conspiracy theory subreddits, and he was like, I have this crazy abdominal growth and doctors don't know what it is. And then he wrote this like 7,000 word write-up, and it's a fetish post. It was just a fetish post. It's not real. He doesn't actually have this bizarre medical condition that causes him to have a gigantic swelled up stomach like a pregnant man. It was just a fetish post. But for a second I believed it. For a second I did. I was like, oh my God, like what a crazy medical condition. I feel so terrible. Yes, our bodies are capable of these crazy things. And I didn't critically analyze for the important moments that I should have. That like, would you dress this way if you were experiencing a medical condition? You might not. You probably wouldn't. Usually when you experience a medical condition that changes your body, you dress to cover it, to hide it, not to accentuate it. And that guy was dressing in a way to accentuate it, and so it was a fetish post. So I was like, block that person. No, thank you. No, thank you. I like conspiracy theories not because I believe in them, but because it's just fun to try to sometimes speculate about something that is obviously not true. Creativity is refreshing to us, rightists. It feels nice, and honestly, rightists, I think that's why we get so, in the same way, like frustrated with chat. Because I don't mind if you're crass or rude or if you make dirty jokes. Just don't be boring. I think that's probably like the number one reason why I got so angry at North Countryman earlier. He made a dirty joke about Dolly Parton, and it was a misogynistic, dehumanizing joke, but it was also a sort of like uncreative joke. And yeah, like North is more creative than that. I feel like I was offended not only because of how you treated me, but because of how you deserve to present yourself in a better way. You're more creative than that too. I'm offended on your behalf. Rightists, there's also something about conspiracy theories that is super dangerous too. Which is something that we like get to be wary of as well. It can feel really good to start believing in some things, but it's also very important to always come back to, why does it feel good to believe in this? What am I getting out of this belief? What's terrible is that like a lot of conspiracy theories prey on people's insecurity, and so it gives them a sense of security by giving them an enemy. So like any conspiracy theory that is like demonizing other people makes me feel very scared. I will 100% agree that it was unoriginal and half-assed. And I can acknowledge that like being a little bit unoriginal and being a little bit half-assed in my Twitch stream offends me. It feels disrespectful and it offends me because I feel like you know that I only show up to do this stream if I'm gonna actually like give. And so don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect my stream, North. I respect you very much. I do respect you very much. I listen to the things that you say even when they hurt my feelings, and I think about them, and then I respond to you in a way that helps you and I feel good about our different perspectives. Because I value you. And this is how we have flat earthers and people who don't believe that like birds are real. I believe that there is profit in keeping us down. And what scares me is that very often the question that we should ask ourselves is, what man is profiting from us thinking this? It's a very scary thought. It makes me feel like I'm hating on men, but I don't want to hate on men. I'm thinking about like the pleasure of men. For real. And what man is getting pleasure off of this particular suffering? That's very important to me. Hey, welcome to you giving me money. Yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you, Rightus. I love you, my dear. This stream is trash. All you try to do is speak your mind. I'm not trying. I am speaking my mind, but let's see what else they have to say. And truth, and spread information about positivity and things like that. It's whack. Do better, bro, for real. Oh. It's interesting that their username is literally au revoir. That was a weird comment. I don't really think that was based in reality, and I don't think I need to listen to that person. I feel like the person right above them who said, the flat earth is real, we banned them as well because that's also like a little bit boring to have to interact with. I feel like that has like literally more debatable merit than that other comment. Yeah. Very interesting, very interesting. I wonder if that person is happy. I wonder if that person is happy. Were they trying to be facetious? Did ChatGPT write that troll comment? English is not their first language. The phrase, all you try to do is speak your mind, is a very unusual, you know what I mean? I'm not smart enough to like understand exactly why that feels so unusual in English. All you try to do is speak your mind. All you try to do is speak your mind. All you try to do is speak your mind. It sounds a little bit like all they do is charge their phone, twerk, lie, and eat hot chip. It's a little bit like, yes, he, very interestingly enough, he's framing my experience of communication as if it's a bad thing. I wonder how that, I wonder what he gets out of that. I wonder, you know what, I actually know, as soon as I say it, I understand exactly what he's getting out of this. I understand exactly what he's getting out of this. He gets to look at me and feel better than me. There is a chance that he is ugly. There is a chance that he is old. There is a chance that he is unpopular. There is a chance that he is boring or dull or just maybe even forgettable. And the fact that I am none of those things highlights the fact that he is those things. And then so he must find a logic in tearing me down to make himself feel good, which is, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. He tried to make me feel bad, so now I'm going to tear him down to make me feel good. It's very human. It's very human. It's very human. You're giving me your money, and I love it. I love it when you give me your money. Yay! Okay, so I got the shoes. I got the shoes that I'm going to wear for my day 3 cosplay. Yeah. I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't picked the pants that I'm going to wear for day 1 cosplay, but I know the boots that I'm going to wear for day 1 cosplay. I'm going to wear my black boots for my day 1 cosplay. The outfit for day 1 cosplay is like black pants, white shirt, like kind of like a basic outfit, but like there's like accoutrement that makes it the character. And I know the pants that I want to wear because I know how they look, and I know they look really beautiful. I'm glad I'm talking about this with you guys, because I'm talking myself out of wearing these pants. They're not very comfortable. They're the kind of pants that are so tight and shiny that like I would wear them and they would make my legs really itchy. So I'm not gonna wear those ones. Maybe I would even wear like should I so then here's the other thing that I'm like, should I treat myself and buy a new pair of comfortable leggings? It's been years, to be perfectly honest. It has been years since I bought myself like a nice pair of black comfortable leggings. High-waisted, tight black comfortable leggings. Because I want them to be comfy and sexy. Yeah. Okay, yeah, maybe I can. You know, also maybe I could just put it on my wish list and see if the universe wants to reward me. That's good. I know the top that I want to wear. Yeah, I know the top that I want to wear. It's fun, it's sexy, it's comfortable. I have the coat already, which like makes the whole outfit. I know how I'm going to style my hair. And I ordered jewelry to like complete the look. And I hope that it arrives in time. Comic-Con isn't for another couple weeks, or like it's like not this weekend, but it's next weekend. So I have the rest of this week and all of next week for it to all to arrive. I hope it arrives in time. If not, then maybe I get to like find some gemstones and make my own jewelry, which I also really enjoy doing and I can like be happy with as well. My second day cosplay is like an old tried and true one that I've done on stream so many times. I love it, but I'm gonna add more to it because like I've done it so many times before. And I think I'm ready. Like I really think I'm ready, yes. Murph, welcome back, Murph. Yay. Should I play Fire Mage or Frost Mage in World of Warcraft tomorrow? Oh, Fire Mage? I love fire, yeah. Welcome back, Murph. Tomorrow's therapy day for me. And I feel like in January and in February, I was thinking about ice and cold. I was thinking about the sensation through my body and the way that cold and very quiet centering can be a blessing. Embracing that cold silence, embracing that cold stillness was very beneficial in January and February. And in March and April, I want to focus more on not being perfect, definitely, like working on imperfection, and also movement, more movement. Yeah. I've never seen you play the ukulele. Hold up. That's cool if you can play it, though. I do love ukulele. I can play violin and flute and ukulele. Those are my 3 instruments, yeah. I also want to learn how to play the harmonica. It's on my list. I'll get to it. Yeah. Yes, you should start wielding all of the elements. But that's the thing, Ritus. We get to focus on it. So the first 2 months of the year can be ice and water. And then the next 2 months can be fire. Or maybe earth? Maybe we're getting into the earth in spring. Who knows? Where would you recommend getting a violin? Online or find a used one? I would probably go to, I think they sell instruments in stores still. I would go and I would buy an instrument from a store that sells musical instruments. Because the people who sell musical instruments are going to be able to, number one, gauge how much money you should be spending on this hobby. Yeah. And also, you don't need an expensive piece of equipment to become amazing. You, yourself, our bodies are the most expensive pieces of equipment, and that's the actual thing that's integrating with the fucking wood and string and vibration, so you don't need to spend a ton of money. Yeah. I would love to play violin again. I would love to play flute again. I think I have a flute on my wish list. You should go on my wish list and you should buy that flute for me off my wish list. And I would love to play flute again. I loved playing flute. The flute that I had was like the high school flute. It was my high school's flute. It wasn't my flute. I never had my own flute. Go buy my flute. And then you can, every time I play it, we can make the joke that I'm playing the U flute. I'd say like spring is water, summer is earth, fall is air, and fire in the winter. Rightus, ain't that just the way? Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. You are my favorite girl on Twitch. Keep invading my brain. Okie dokie. Yeah, I like it too. Watch it be like an $8,000 Yamaha. No, it's not. It's not great. I understand the value in everything, and money is part of everything, you know? Harmonicas are also called mouth organs. Yeah, but we start putting mouth organ together in front of me. You know what that is. You know what that turns into. Viking, a Yamaha, you say? I love when car companies and like motor vehicle companies make other stuff as well. Like how Peugeot made pepper mills and bicycles and corsets and then really, really wild cars. I think that if I ever get early onset Alzheimer's and dementia like my mother, the only thing you will need to do to make me happy every single day is show me the Top Gear segment on Peugeots. They did an entire segment on Peugeot, and it's just the 3 of them just driving these cars to fucking shit and just like driving into things, swerving into stuff. It was so funny. It's my favorite. I might rewatch it tonight while I'm eating pancakes just as a treat to myself. I loved it. Michelin, that's another really hilarious thing, North. Yeah, absolutely. That you hear about Michelin stars and you're like, ooh, a Michelin star. Where do I know the word Michelin? Well, the only thing I can think of is Michelin tires. Surely that's not the right. It is. It is. The Michelin Tire Company are also the people who hand out the highest awards for the best fucking restaurants. It's the same. Guinness doing beer and world records. Yeah, here we go, baby. I just ordered some pancakes for myself. Dashing making pancakes is like such a joy. I'm going to get so fat. I'm going to eat so many pancakes and so much sausage. And I'm going to get Nutella. And I'm going to put peanut butter and Nutella on my pancakes. And I'm going to get bananas as well. Oh, it's going to be, I'm going to have to find some real good ripe bananas, like real ripe bananas. The history is so wonderful. It's a minefield, though, because as you're looking back on all these wonderful human accomplishments, every once in a while you stub your toe on an atrocity, and it becomes very, very difficult to enjoy the past when you bump into all these atrocities. So I love it, but then it's also not easy for everyone to enjoy, and I recognize why. Skoda, the Czech manufacturer of my car, made artillery for the Habsburg monarchy. It's why I'm calling my car the Czech tank. She'll get 23 hectares. Sorry, can somebody type out the quote from The Simpsons? It's so funny. She'll go 23 hectares on a single tank of kerosene. What country is this car from? It no longer exists. Saab used to make jets, and they made cars. Also, little fun fact. Oh, I have no idea how to pronounce it. Kensig? Koenigs? Ghost you see on cars is the old logo for the WW2 Swedish plane Squatch. Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're getting too specific. It's very esoteric. I don't know what that is. What is this company? She'll go 300 hectares on a single tank of kerosene. Put it in H. It's so funny. I love it. Put it in H. I don't want to be rude to you, Daddy Canada, but I'm angry at you for so casual. Honestly, nothing makes me angrier. When you fuckers are going to use these incredibly complicated non-English words casually and you just throw them into the middle of, like, the sentence. Oh, sorry, it's just a super fancy Swedish word. Yes, I know. I'm calling you out for being pretentious and rude. Don't interrupt me. You guys need to go fuck yourselves with a rusty spoon. Something that I'll never get over is how men view a woman's ability to speak and communicate as some sort of, like, fault or downfall. You idiots really are watching Cirque du Soleil and going, ugh, these people are so bendy, eh? Yuck, look how bendy these people are. Like, way to not be able to appreciate artistry right in front of you. And then this, like, I'm just gonna casually start throwing in some very fancy Swedish words, like, do you really think I can just sight read these words perfectly? No. Go fuck yourself with a rusty spoon. Take her for a test drive and you'll agree. Zagrebinom Zvodiev. I don't even know. I'm on your side, V. Imagine I use my last name in your chat. It even has an umlaut in it. It's just like... Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? Are you this pretentious? Are you foisting your pretense onto me? That doesn't turn me on. How am I supposed to be horny with all this pretense? I mean, you should be able to cold read every single person's comment perfectly 100% of the time. Exactly. I think it's so funny because the truth is, if any of you guys sat down here and had to read aloud as much as I do, I think that most of you would give up within the first 10 minutes. The mental exhaustion and the difficulty that each and every one of you would experience after 30 full seconds. 60 seconds, 160 seconds would just fry your brains. It would actually fry your brains. Yes. We're gonna ban this guy who doesn't seem to understand that I don't care how you feel about the individual parts of my outfit. I really don't. I really don't. Read the room, you worthless morons. We're not here for you to tell me your personal feelings about the individual objects that I'm wearing on my body. This is not the red carpet of the Oscars, and you are not interviewing me for Vogue magazine. So these comments are really weird, inappropriate, and honestly, it makes me so sick. I'm gonna demand that you gift me another 5 fucking subs! So many of you disgusting morons violate my sweet, beautiful thoughts with your impertinent nastiness. And this is why I demand 5 gifted subs from you with my screamy voice. Yep. Thar she blows. That's a great way to end stream. On a high note. And like a real gaga. I love a gaga. That's not 5 gifted subs, North, but I'll take it. I'll take the 500 individual bits. Only because you admit that my body gives your baby body a boner. Baby boy body. It's time for me to start making my pancakes. Oh no, sorry, I need to do grocery shopping first. Okie dokie. It's time for me to do my grocery shopping. I am beyond excited. I am so fucking excited. Oh, right, I could gift, but then it wouldn't be $699 gifted. That's probably more important. In the greater scheme of things, that's what's really important. That's what's really important. Yeah. Okay, who should we rate today? Oh, I'll be back on Thursday. I'll be back on Thursday for Severance Day, where we'll talk about our severance theories. We'll talk about the episode that'll be happening that night. I'm so excited. Tomorrow is therapy day. I hope that you guys enjoy your own day of therapy as well. Oh, Selkie. Hassan's watching Trudeau. That's interesting. Okay, go hang out with Selkie. Get on up out of here. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Goodbye.